Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Granger who does the same. Granger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Tune in to Vern's On Deck Show 1 hour before first pitch. Plus, your chance to win Royals tickets during the pitch clock, following the game, or on your way home from the K. Listen to Vern's postgame show with sounds from the locker room, plus your calls and texts. Miss the show? It's available on demand with the All Things Vern channel on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 Live The Fan. Chiefs training camp in July. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
And a happy Wednesday to all of you listening, watching, sharing, caring, talking, whatever you're doing to watch this wonderful program that we call Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, and myself, Dusty Likens. I hope you all are having a good Wednesday.
You said happy birthday, America, or whatever, Jerry has going on there.
America?
Yeah, hello, America. I think the story of the day is Canada.
Yeah, dude. You don't mess with hockey players on the golf course. Bang! Bang!
Mean, I've never seen anybody get their ass kicked more on a golf course. Does it happen a lot? It seems like we get a lot of these videos, and you're out there on the links, as they like to call them. Do you see a lot of these fights out there? Like, what goes in the minds of people golfing? Are they just hammered and they just want to...
I've never seen a fight. I've been involved in one altercation with a group. It wasn't like it was a huge, there was a couple of cursing words going on. If you guys aren't getting this reference, there was a video that streamed yesterday that went viral of a former NHL hockey player who calls out this loudmouth in Canada who's golfing either in front of them or behind them, whatever it may be. Hockey player has enough that whips this guy's ass in like 10 seconds.
The guy's name is Nick Tarnasky, the former hockey player. I've never heard of that guy before.
Nick kicking your asky is what his real name is.
I didn't realize he was a former NHL player until about 10 minutes ago. And now I'm looking at this dude. I'm like, holy crap. Why are you messing with this guy on the golf course?
You mess with the bull, you get the horns. Or you mess with the hockey player, you get the fists. You can watch the video. I think I've quote tweeted it. I think everybody's retweeted it or liked it or whatever. Oh yeah, can't see likes.
Yeah. I just put golf fight into the search bar on Twitter and got it. So.
And the best part is either the guy getting thrown into the pond or getting hit 3 times in the face, and every time Karnasky hits him in the face, he says bang.
Bang.
Like a Batman scene where the sound would come up and go boom, clap.
Boom.
And then the third part is when the guy thinks he's, had enough, or maybe doesn't think he's had enough, comes at him again, and the guy literally just throws him 15 feet into the abyss. But again, hockey guy always wins. Now, to go back to your golf thing, there's been one time before where we showed up to the tee box. Our tee time was at 2:20. We got to the tee box at 2:10.
That's 10 minutes early. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
There's
fine.
a group of 4 guys on the tee box getting ready to hit their ball. We come down. Said, hey, guys, what's up? Oh, nothing. How are you guys? Great. Out of curiosity, when's your tee time? 2:35. Nice. What's yours? 2:20. Oh, cool. Thinking guy would unplace his ball from the ground, walk over, and then let us tee up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we waited 30 seconds. We're like, so what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, you guys are late to the tee box. I'm like, no. 5 minutes, I'll give you that. If we're not there by 5 minutes before we tee off, we're a little late.
Right.
10 minutes.
10 minutes is a long time.
Right. There's a group in the middle of the fairway for those listening that know the course. Adams Point, hole 10. It's par 5 all the way uphill, so you can see the people in the middle of the fairway. We're on the tee box. Left to us is the pond. These guys are in front of us. So then all of a sudden we're like, all right, I guess go ahead, guys. And then, me being a smart ass, I was like, I guess one of you guys' name is Adam. Guy turns around. Yep. Look, we're not going to have any of this tough guy BS. And we're like, tough guy BS? And then we're just like, all right, dude, go ahead and tee off. And then later on throughout the course, one of the guys comes up to us like, hey, we apologize, man. Like, we realize we effed up. It's our fault. Like, we're just whatever. I'm like, well, it's the golf course. I don't know how you have bad emotions. Like, sorry that we were being sarcastic. We didn't apologize, but yeah. And then I told you a story this year, early in the golf season out at Hoots Hollow in Harrisonville or wherever the hell it's called. I don't know what that county is. I think it's Harrisonville. And we could hear it from the background. It was like, hey, tough guy. And all of a sudden, those guys came up to the 18th green.
The same people?
No, this is a different day. Different course.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the same people, like they're recognizing tough guys from like 2 years ago.
No, these guys. So we're on the 18th green at Hoots Hollow. These guys are on the 18th tee box, and 17 is like an island par 3. And this guy's yelling at them from the tee box. And I guess they were mad with slow play, which slow play could make you just want to kick a varmint if you could kick one.
Right.
And so I guess he'd had enough. They got, face to face shouting at each other. No fists were flying, but shouting like, F you think you're a tough guy, that type of stuff. And the guys that were getting yelled at finally came up to our green, and we're putting our clubs away and getting ready to go to the parking lot and leave. And I was like, what did you do? Just piss those guys off? And they're like, oh, they're mad at us because we were hitting 2 balls each. There was 2 guys that were playing, 2 balls, which this is when you can open up Pandora's box and say if that's right or wrong. Probably just hit one.
Right.
In my opinion. But they were hitting 2 balls each. The guy behind him was
if
pissed.
It's an empty course, I don't care what you do out there. But if you're playing and you're delaying everybody else, like I'm the older I get, and I think you're kind of like this, and it's a Larry David type of thing, right? When you start doing things selfishly that impact me, that's when I have a problem, right? Like driving the wrong way or driving in general or just, walking, but you see it all the time. Like people do so many selfish things, and it's gotten worse as the years have gone on. And a lot of it has to do with nobody knows where they're driving anymore because they're all relying on GPS, and they don't know that they're supposed to be turning right up here because they're stupid. And so I think
in half a mile, take a right.
Right. It's not that. It's really not that hard. But people they don't know where they're going anymore because they're so reliant on that damn screen to tell them. I had a conversation with my daughter yesterday about that. I said, when you drive, you're going to go out and you're going to get lost and you're going to find your way home. And she goes, I'll just use the screen. No, you're not using the screen. You're going to go drive around and figure out where you're going. I mean, that's the only way you can learn is to figure things out, fail, and make mistakes. But like if you start affecting somebody else because you're being selfish and you're being a Richard, that's when I have a problem. So if you're playing 2 balls and nobody else is on the course, who the hell cares?
Right.
But if all of a sudden people are behind you, start playing 1 ball. Don't be a jerk.
Right, yeah. I mean, look, I don't think they should have hit 2 balls. Like when the guy was telling me the story, he's like, yeah, he's pissed. We were playing slow because we were, and he's like, we were hitting a ball, like 2 balls each. There's 2 of us, whatever. I'm like, and I was just kind of like, maybe don't do that.
Read the room, pal.
And then he was like, yeah, we had, he kept telling us like, hurry up. We turned around. They said they turned around and they said, shut the F up. The guy was like, okay. Got in his cart, pulled forward. He's like, I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Right.
And we could hear it, and we're not that 400 yards away. And, it was pretty, it happens all the time on the golf course, man.
Yeah.
Like, so many people play golf angry. And, like, for me, like, with our schedule and our week that we get, if I get to get out like I did yesterday, I have no worries in the world.
Right.
Like, the only worry I have is if I could somehow get my pitching wedge back to the way it should be. Like, for an example.
Isn't golf supposed to be one of those sports, where you go to get away? I know that's the way I look at going to the J, right? It's getting away, it's exercising, it's the runner's high, it's the endorphins, it's to get away from life for an hour or so, right?
Yeah.
I would think if you're out there on the golf course for 5 or 6 hours, you're doing it to get away from a lot of the stuff. So if you're going out there and playing angry, aren't you defeating the whole purpose of trying to be out there on the golf course and getting kind of that Zen moment in your life?
So I think that they actually try to go there. I think that they go there with that mentality, but I think 50's probably low. 70% of the time people are on the golf course, gambling is involved.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So, like, when you're losing and, money's coming out of your pocket, you're not happy.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, how many times you watch a Chiefs game and somebody had an over-under, I'm sure Max in this field as well, where somebody had, like, an over-under on Patrick Mahomes passing yards at 250, and he they just don't throw the ball in the fourth quarter.
Right.
F this, man. It's like,
but see, I've never been that guy, right?
No.
Like I just haven't, and that is a big problem that we are seeing in sports, which I think is a reason why so many people are against the legalized gambling aspect of things, because people do take it so seriously. They're attacking players and stuff on social media because of that kind of stuff. You can't be that guy either. I mean, come on, this is sports. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be the release from your mundane job, your whatever it is that you're doing, the kids and all that kind of stuff, and then you get out there and you have that kind of attitude too. If you can't afford the loss, don't make the bet.
Right.
You're not tough. Hey, you're not tough. Let's get to it. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Hey.
And that's Karnaski saying that.
Off to a good start, buddy. I got it all on record.
Record.
Gotta love the Canadian accent. And then bang, bang. Like, you can
He's
never
saying bang as he hits the guy.
you can't show yourself. Like, to go home to your wife and explain that to her, you should be divorced. How'd you do today on the golf course?
Well,
this guy literally hit me in the face 3 times, and while doing it, he said bang, and then he threw me into a pond.
Yeah, I got thrown in a pond.
And then he threw me again.
Yeah, twice that guy got tossed.
Yeah.
By who? Well, a former hockey player. What did you do? Yeah.
And I mean, I will say slow play is the worst.
It is, but then recognize that and let people play through.
That's the biggest issue on the golf course is.
But then why is that so hard?
Well, come on, man, you've been to the zoo.
Yeah.
Like, social awareness is one of the hardest things Americans find out about. Like, if there's 4 of you and there's 2 of us behind you, you let us play through.
You let us play through. It's common knowledge.
And people don't do that. And then there's guys that'll, like, take 4 or 5 practice swings. You're like, dude, you are a 92 golfer. Like, you are not on the tour. Stop hitting practice swings. Play faster. Slow play will make you angry.
Absolutely. Yes.
But, I mean, there's also a way to, like, it happened to us yesterday. To wrap up my entire day, there was a group of 4 in front of us. There were 3 of us. When we got to the turn, they weren't at the tee box. They went to their cars, probably to get some Schwalla or some more beer out of their car, or whatever they were doing. And then we went to the 10th tee box. We teed off. After we teed off, they came around the thing. We're like, hey guys, sorry we didn't see you. We thought maybe they go, no, we were gonna let you guys go ahead of us anyway.
Oh, see,
and
that's
we were like, okay,
good.
And we knocked out probably 40 minutes of our round.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean,
like, why
fun.
can't people realize that though on the golf course? Like that. That's the biggest thing for me, and it's not one of the reasons I don't play golf anymore. But I always got to that. Like, I value my time maybe more than I should, right? Like, I'm always like, I wish I was 5 more minutes or 5 minutes earlier all the time, no matter what time of day it was. I'm looking to accomplish things a lot quicker and whatnot in life. I think we all are at that point in time. But if you're out on the golf course and you see this is taking place and you see people are sitting in their cart waiting and they got their foot up and they're burning a dart and things like that, like, at that point in time, you're the front group. You got to say, hey, man, why don't you guys play through? Like, when I was playing, we did that all the time. We didn't care. Like, people have plans. People have schedules. People have things in life that are going on. And if you're holding up somebody, let them play through or then beat their ass like this hockey player did and throw a guy in a pond.
Bang.
I want to see that again. I want to see somebody here thrown in a pond.
1-1 pitch. Kagleion hits a drive out into the gap in right center field. That's in the alley and gone. Kagleion's first home run at Kauffman Stadium. Kind of a sinking line drive. And it went out of the shadows around home plate and over the wall and brightly lit by the sun, right center field.
So that wasn't the biggest at bat last night for Jack Kagleion. I'll explain last night as the Royals were victorious once again. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jonathan India here, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Heartland Men's Health want to help you have a great summer because, summer's here and we've got vacations. We got the barbecues hanging out at the house. You got the beach days, long nights with the people that you love. And summer's when you should feel your best. Rest, sharp, full of energy. But if you feel like you're missing a gear lately, low testosterone may be to blame. And if you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe I've got some decrease in libido, I'm putting on a little bit of weight, I'm less productive at the gym, it's time to go to heartlandmenshealth.com and take their low T quiz right there on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz with yes or no answers, and it's going to take you 2 minutes. And then you're going to schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health to do all your lab work and have your results within 30 minutes. And then a licensed medical provider will review your results with you and discuss your options, and will make your decision together with the medical team. The cost of the appointment is just $99, which includes a medical consult, a TNPSA test, test. And if you sign up for testosterone treatment, the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in Kansas City, and they're ready for you. They have 3 locations in Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and the boys in blue are rolling along. The season is in full force, and all season long in full force, we're bringing you the proud partner of your Kansas City Royals, Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. They're absolutely delicious and pair perfectly with a day at the ballpark. Oh, I can already feel that warm summer weather, and nothing goes better than a Surfside Lemonade and Vodka in Kauffman Stadium all season long for you there. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles, so it's easy to sip and enjoy while you're at the game. Ask for it also at your local bars and liquor stores. You must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
FanDuel, because nothing says summer fun like adding excitement to the game while your friends are out there getting sunburned at the beach. Summer sports are calling your name. Baseball under the stadium lights, golf on pristine green fairways, soccer matches with world-class goals, and all the action-packed moments in between. You are going to spend all day following your favorite sports on your phone anyway. Might as well make it more thrilling with FanDuel. Open the app today to see the daily promotions, and new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/Alex to get started. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Here is your Game of the Week, presented by Hyundai. Few teams in the MLB have reached 50 wins so far this season, but 2 of them will be facing off in a weekend series. New York will host Chicago as the team from the north side of Chicago heads to the Bronx in a battle of 2 of the biggest franchises in baseball. Both teams are looking to hold tight to the division lead, but the task won't be easy in this series. Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably, because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ionic 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ionic 9, space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. EPA estimated range for Ionic 9 based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors. Introducing the all-electric Ionic 9. Space for up to 7, range for miles.
When I wake up, the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size. Because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
When I wake up,
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Royals coverage sponsored by the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull on July 19th. The Outlaws are coming. Get ready for the electrifying Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, Saturday, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Tickets starting at $20 at the gate. Check out Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In downtown, 670 westbound, very heavy from 71 over to I-35 with construction. You're down to one lane. 35 southbound, also very heavy from 12th Street down towards Penway with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, Dusty Likens, all with you here today. Royals win again last night. Finally, they walked somebody off. Y'all thought Kag was going to do it, didn't you? Y'all were sitting there going, oh, is this going to be his moment? But got the runner over, and then Nick Loftin knocks in the runner.
There was a nickname for Nick Foles back in the day, and I think it could have applied to Nick Loftin lately, man.
Lately. Still has a 202 average.
Yeah, but the last couple of games.
He's had a hell of a 2-game stretch against these Pittsburgh Pirates. I know in game one.
It's good to face minor league pitching for a few days.
Hey, dude. Hey, man. That's the same team that got swept by the A's.
I know. That's what you said to me this morning. They lost to the A's. You know?
I don't care who you play, man. You're in a position where you just got to keep winning.
Yeah, these are games you have to win. Like there's no excuse for not sweeping the Pittsburgh Pirates. They stink.
You got a 53-win team coming in here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before the All-Star game, and you're 3 games below 500. So from where they were a week ago to where they are now, I don't care if you're playing the Pirates. I don't care if you're playing the A's. I don't care if you're playing the Omaha Storm Chasers. Just win.
Yeah, that was the old Dick Vermeil adage back in the day. Keep losing teams losing. And that's what winning ball clubs do, right? You keep those losing teams losing, and you take advantage and you feast off of them. And that's why I don't have a problem when people, complain about, whatever division, the Chiefs the last couple of years, having an easy run to it. They kept losing teams losing. They took care of business along the way. And when the Pittsburgh Pirates roll into town and you can name like 3 players on their team, and you don't beat them, that's a problem, right? You're doing what you're supposed to do right now, and that's beat up on the Pirates. Take advantage of a team that clearly has no direction in life and go out there and beat their ass. And look, that's what the Royals are doing. A big one on Monday night and a fun one last night, a fun win last night.
And what was weird about last night is there was an anomaly on how they didn't have the lead.
Yeah.
Lucas Irsig did not have it last night.
No, he did not.
Not one single bit.
He couldn't hit the strike zone to save his life last night.
And that's a guy that when you look at this Royals team, you're like, how'd they blow the lead? Oh, they probably made an error in the defense or somebody, whatever, or however it may have been. No, man, Lucas Irsig wasn't there last night. Was picked up by his team.
Yep.
And Carlos Estevez, who had it going last night, again, not an all-star.
Right.
But winning pitcher last night. But I thought that game showed a lot.
I would have rather had him get the save last night. Does that sound selfish?
No.
I would
Talk
have rather
to Lucas about it.
Yeah.
Talk to Q about it at 9.
Yeah, he could have had his 25th save of the year. I'm like, I don't want to see Estevez get wins. I want to see him rack up those saves. Because
normally a win for a closer means
they
blew the lead.
Yeah, they blew it.
But I thought last night's game was, and again, I get it, man. I'll hear everybody's opinion on this where it's like, well, Dusty, it's Pittsburgh. They're still 3 games below. Look, everybody had the same opinion. They can't win at home. They can't hit home runs. They can't hit home runs at home. They can't score. They can't hit. It was never, they keep losing. They got swept by the A's. They got swept by Tampa. They went on the road. They swept the Rangers. And they won 1 out of 3 against San Diego, but they look good, right? And it was all this, well, can they do it at home? Paul Skenes and the Pittsburgh Pirates, not Paul Skenes, but the Pirates decided to change up their rotation.
Yeah.
That's not the Royals' fault. They thought, hey, we don't need Skenes to pitch. We'll be just fine. That's fair, and everything is everything going forward. But I think with this Royals team, you're seeing some things that, we've wanted to see all year, and that's what the product should look like. So I think that's one nugget you can take away from last night. The second one is the fact that, other guys are contributing now besides Bobby Witt Jr. Now, again, Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting 295. Michael Garcia is still hitting 305. Vinny's hitting 270. And now you've gotten this little bit of a hot streak from Nick Loftin, who hit a home run again last night, hit one on the previous night, and 4 of his hit balls, 2 of which were hits, 2 were outs, all 4 of his balls were hard hit balls. And I know that sounds like a nerd stat, like hard hit rate, but that matters because that means you're seeing ball and hitting ball, which is the thing that you always go back to. I thought that the other thing that was a really big moment was, yes, Kags' home run. That was nice. Please, more of that. See that power. We knew it was coming. But I thought his best at bat last night was an out and a moving of the runner. And this is what he had to say to the media after the game about that.
My whole plan going into that AB was just to get a ball in the air. I wanted to move my Kel over. I mean, everybody out here, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year,
Sweat in the bathtub? Hell?
Yes.
I mean, that was like the worst possible execution.
I know.
I
was trying to do it. I know.
To be like, man, just trying to grind it out of
That
it.
was unbelievable.
I mean, that was so bad. I respect the effort, but that was terrible.
I almost don't.
Right about that.
So sweat in the bathtub, right?
Is that the new 1738?
I hope keep putting sweat in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Now, this is why I think that was important. Okay, hear me out, and then I'll let you guys take the floor. The home run's awesome. It's sexy. It sells. The goatee, everything. This is like Dirty Jack, right? That's what we're calling him these days. We just started calling him Dirty Jack with the goatee. He doesn't look like the kid anymore. Hits a home run, puts sweat in the bathtub, and then all of a sudden in his last at-bat, all I'm trying to do is put the ball in the air. Now, that first swing he had in that last at-bat looked like he was trying to win the game.
Yeah.
But I love that. That's what I want to see from him, the aggressiveness. But again, I also want to see him be grounded and be humbled and just be like, hey, I don't have to do it all myself. I just have to be a part of it. He hits the ball to right field deep. Mike Hill goes to the third. The hottest hitter in your lineup outside of Bobby Witt Jr. and Nick Loftin smacks to center. Game over. And I can tell you this from personal experience. On Monday night, when they were having the time of their life in that locker room, and Vinny Pasquantino was making jokes and having fun, and Bobby was smiling, and everybody's high-fiving. They're playing Return of the Mac. They're playing that song from Wedding Crashers, the Dan Band or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing. You know what Kags is doing? He's sitting in his chair with a towel on his back with his head between his legs on his phone. Just not having the time of his life, right? The guy that's just, his girlfriend's not there. They're worried about something going on outside they can control, but everybody else is up, smiling. Noah Cameron's high-fiving. They're eating their meals. Everybody's laughing and having a good time. Not Kags. Fast forward the time to the last night. He hits a home run. He has a huge at-bat in the bottom of the ninth to move a guy over that eventually is the winning run. And he's making lines of, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And he's laughing, and they're having a good time. That is what you need to see. I'm interested to watch him play tonight because when you have that sort of vibe and you feel that good and you have that, aura back, that's massive. And to have him have that at bat last night, in my opinion, was much more important than having hit that first home run at home.
Well, he said something at the beginning there that kind of reminds me of Mike Moustakas back in the day when he kind of figured it out. He goes, I was just trying to get the runner over.
My whole plan going into that AB was just to get a ball in the air. I wanted to move my Kel over.
Yeah, I mean, that right there is a big sign. That's the sign of a guy understanding what team baseball is about. That's not a guy who's just trying to go out there and change his 140 average to 147 or something like that, because that's what a lot of guys do. They see their batting average is low and they don't care about the team. They're worried about themselves. And to hear a kid at whatever age he is sit there and say, I was just trying to move the runner over at this stage of his big league career, I think that's probably the best thing that he's done since he's become a Kansas City Royal. And I don't take that lightly because a lot of these guys at the big league level just don't understand what team baseball is about because they have agents that tell them it's not about team baseball. It's about you getting launch angle. It's about you getting exit velocity. It's about you hitting home runs. That's how you get paid. Well, other guys get paid as well when you're on a winning ball club. Players will get paid if you're part of a winning ball club. Like Vinny Pasquantino may not break the bank on the free agent market, but he can get a nice contract here in Kansas City. You're winning. You're part of a winning program. And that's what you need to do. You need winners on your team that understand the game. And that was a big moment for me to hear Kag say something like that because you don't normally hear something like that out of a younger player. And so when you're thinking about, where he is and really hasn't done much of anything at the big league level, at least he's learning what he needs to do and what it's going to take to be part of a winning ball club at the big league level. And I thought that was a very key. I didn't care about the moment. The quote after the game, I'm like, damn, that sounds like a 34-year-old who's on his last rodeo looking for that ring, doing anything he can to help his team win. And then that's Jack Kagleion talking about that. And he's, 22, 23 years
22.
old, And he's out there saying that. Those are the comments of like you go back and watch Bull Durham or Major League or like a Jake Taylor or somebody's got one more day in the sun and they're just trying to cash in on a ring and we'll do anything we possibly can to help the team win. Those aren't the comments of a 22-year-old. Those are impressive comments by Kagleion.
And impressive ABs, too. I mean, I know the first inning, I think he left 2 men on, comes back in his next at-bat, blasts a home run, and then hits that massive at-bat to get Michael over because, he knows everything that's involved in that situation. We talked about it, what was it, yesterday, about the mentality of Patrick Mahomes. I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah.
But, Mahomes was that young guy that had that weird, hey, I know that the line of scrimmage is here. I know I've got a kicker that's nails inside 40. I just got to go 20 yards. Jack Kagleion last night, hey, I got a guy on second base that's got good speed. I got enough pop to get it out there to get him over to third, have one out on the play, and I got a guy behind me that's hitting right now better than most people in this lineup outside of Bobby Witt, Denny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, who's starting to hit the ball well, again, which is nice to see, almost up to 240 on his AVG. But, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to hear, and especially seeing how just down bad he was. I mean, I told you guys that the next day when I came in. I was like, man, Kags is down, man. It's one of those things, and we've all been there, right? We've had parties before where everybody's having a good time, and then there's that one guy on the couch, and you go up to him, and you're, half-cocked, and you're like, hey, man, what's up? And he's like, nothing, just whatever. And you're like, you sure? Everything all right? You're like, it's fine. You're like, all good. Something's not right.
I reached out to somebody the other day about that. I had a conversation with somebody, and I left, and I could tell something's not right. And you reach back out to that person, like, you okay, man? Anytime you need to talk, I'm here for you.
And then
I
they
appreciate that, and then they let you know. And it's been going through some things with the kids, and it's tough, and it is. I mean, you live life, and you live your life through your kids. You want to see them happy, and when they're down, then you're down. And I tell people all the time that are parents, I say, look, we're all in this together, and we don't always want to talk about it and act like we're in it together, but we're all a support group for everybody. And Kags had that support group around him, the other night and came through big. And that's why we said yesterday when we were talking about this and people are like, send him down. He's not going to learn anything being in the minor leagues. He learned more last night playing against the Pittsburgh's minor league team, but he learned more playing them in the big league level than he'll ever learn going down to the minor leagues. He learned what it took to win a game last night without having to hit a home run, without having to hit a gapper. He learned how to win a game by doing the simple baseball things, and that's going to carry him, man. That's what you want in your baseball player. You want them to be a winner and focused on winning and doing what it's going to take to help the team win, not what's going to help pad his stats. And that was a great quote by Kagleion last night.
Just getting some sweat in the bathwater?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
My whole plan going into that AB was just to get a ball in the air. I wanted to move my Kel over. I mean, everybody out here, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year,
I've never even heard that one before.
No one else did either.
And he's like somebody told him that you're going to work this in. Like Joe Buck does that all the time, which is a reason why I appreciate Joe Buck more than I think anybody else does, because his buddies will text him, work in this word to the broadcast, right? And he does. We've done that with Kling at times. Like, you got to work this into the sidelines and stuff. And
you guys used to do that with me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And send young Dusty out there and be like, just say this. And I'd be like, Bob Fescoe's texting me? Whoa. I was like, met him twice. Good work, kid. I'm 34. Good work, dude.
But that's what it's all about, right? Like you get him to say something and have some fun. Baseball needs to do more of that. I love the fact that Joe Buck does that kind of stuff. All right, my buddy, but he doesn't tell you who it is and whatnot. I texted Ryan before and said, work this into the broadcast. He usually doesn't, but but a lot of times, Joe Buck is like saying something like, what the heck? It must have been one of his buddies from, St. Louis saying, work this in.
That's along the same lines of just not taking yourself too seriously, knowing what you're doing. You're playing baseball. You're announcing a football game. This is fun.
Yeah, but
make sure you have fun.
some people don't look at it that way,
of course.
Mac. I mean, too many people in our industry do not look at sports as fun. They look at it as I don't know what, but if you're broadcasting a game, you're not. Come on, it's not rocket science. It should be fun. There should be laughs. That's why when Ryan and Denny are together, it's must listen to radio because they are so fantastically humorous. They play off each other so well. They've been together like an old couple now. They've been together forever and a day, and so when you hear them them on the radio together and they're having fun, it makes the game better. You don't even care what the score is at that point in time. Right. And I listen to a lot of baseball broadcasts, both radio and TV, and most of them are really bad. I'm just going to be this Pittsburgh thing that they're rolling out on TV. What an embarrassment. That broadcast sucks. Half the time I thought the sound was turned down. I didn't even know that they were on the air.
Not good.
I wanted to move my kel over. I mean, everybody out here, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year,
Can do it with a straight face.
There's your next T-shirt. We're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub. We didn't get this far to get this far. Was last year. Yep. This year's we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
I do like that one better.
Trademark it, Cags.
It's a lot more fun.
You're young, Cags. Trademark it.
Who else is putting sweat in the bathtub right now? Mahomes is doing that. Yeah.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year,
There you go. I'm glad last night because Mac and I both had this moment last week because you had told us you were watching the Chiefs and Redskins from 05.
Yeah, Chiefs, Redskins 05. Jen and I are sitting at Martin City. They opened their new location today on Main, south of the plaza, right? Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there last night, and it's to my back, and she's looking at it.
It was Tuesday. Were you guys doing this?
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
We were. Later on that night, we were putting sweat in the bathtub. You better believe it, we were. Kids in the basement, mom and dad upstairs, let's go.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
Uh-huh. And so she's like, the Chiefs are on. I'm like, turn around. It's Trent Green, and it's the Redskins, and I'm trying to figure out to myself, I'm like, all right, it's got to be either 01 or 05, right? And I'm going, I guess it's 05 because Willie Rofe was playing and he wasn't there in 01, and so I'm doing all the math in my head.
It's got to be like the end of Willie Rofe. 05?
Well, yeah, I think it was.
He was here 02, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I think 5. It was Dick Vermeil's last season. They finished 10-6, and you start to kind of look at that team.
Probably lost to the Colts in the playoffs.
No, they didn't make the playoffs that year.
Oh, okay.
They went 10-6, didn't make the playoffs that year in Vermeil's last year, and I'm going through all this. I'm like, God, that's got to be 2005. And it was. I was right. I was very happy about it. Big moment in my life. I got that right. And I'm watching that game, and I realized that 2005, and that generation, the Dick Vermeil Chiefs, is kind of what we're watching right now with the Royals. And I hate to say this, where one side of the ball was basically neglected. I mean, they neglected that defense so bad in the Dick Vermeil era, and if they just had a halfway decent defense, man, because that team had so many great offensive weapons, so many great players. And you think about the Royals, they got such great pitching, but they kind of neglected, and I hate to use the term neglected because they tried to get Santander this offseason, but they kind of neglected the offensive side of things. They rolled everything back on everybody having career years, and we're going to have it again, and you can't do that. You always have to be getting better. You always have to be improving your team, and I'm looking at that 05 team, and I'm getting mad again and going like, damn, there was so much talent from Priest Holmes to Tony Gonzalez to Trent Green to that offensive line. And then there's nobody on the defensive side of the football except Gunther Cunningham. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, how were they so short-sighted that they just thought they were going to go outscore everybody? And I think that the moral of the story is you've got to be a balanced team. You can't neglect things, and you cannot bank on career years happening 2 years in a row. You always have to be upgrading, and that's what sports has to be about. You always have to keep churning and burning, and then you see the Chiefs trade Tyreek Hill. So that's the standard. That's what it should be about. Always looking to get better at all costs possible, even if it means trading a big name player like the Chiefs had to do in Tyreek Hill. It ultimately got better as an overall team. But God, that 05 team was so good from an offensive standpoint, going 10-6, and that defense was just so brutally bad for them, man. They just never, ever, ever, ever put any money or any effort really into fixing that defense.
Well, which is interesting because I'm glad that you have, that conversation because now that defense is better than the offense?
Here in Kansas City, the Chiefs
last
are talking
2 years?
about?
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean,
What's the better unit the last 2 years?
It has been. Yeah, it really has been. Because they didn't neglect it. They loaded it up on the defensive side of the ball. Like, they read the room. I don't know if anybody reads a room better than Brett Veach. Honest to God. Like, he understands where his team is before they understand where they are. And before we as fans understand where they are. Because every year we're like, oh my God, why are they drafting that guy? Why are they choosing this guy? It's all part of a master plan. The beauty about Brett Veach and Andy Reid, and I wish everybody in sports had the opportunity to be those two guys because they know they have job security. They can build and make a move today that's going to impact them in 27 or 26, and they don't have to worry about it because they know they've got job security. And so they're able to build this franchise and build this team, not just for today, which is what a lot of general managers have to do, but they're able to build it for a decade. They're able to build it for a generation. And if people want to say, why do the Chiefs have so much success? Because when you have job security, no matter what job you're in, you're going to work a lot different. You're going to work a lot better. You're going to bust your ass a lot more than if you don't have job security. And these guys, Brett Veach and Andy Reid, they're untouchable. So they can build for the future and never miss a beat and worry about, well, if we don't focus on this year, we may get fired. They ain't getting fired. They can do whatever they want. They're not getting fired. And so that allows them to do so much more as a head coach and general manager. And look at what's happening. You reap the benefits of success instead of firing people every 2 years.
You watched that. I watched Royals. Mac watched Royals too, but he also, how many episodes did you get down?
Only one.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Only one.
Yeah, only one.
And
Watching them with Hannah. So
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because she kind of likes
So
it.
this, I
But
found this
tonight's
quote
Love
from-
Island night.
Love Island's every night.
Every
though.
night besides Wednesday.
Yeah. So tonight's not Love Island.
Tonight is no Love Island.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get 2 episodes in tonight.
Oh, wow. So I was watching on X. I saw Spags with this comment to Burrow. This was from the quarterback. Is
This one right here?
This,
And the Bengals are 0-2 for the 3rd consecutive year.
can we just cut that?
Hey, other than our guy, you're the best in the business. I'm not saying that because you're saying you're the. Listen, I appreciate you. Good luck.
I love that. Other than our guy.
Yeah, other than our guy. Well, because in the NFL now, you're mic'd on everything. Everything you say is going to be used against you, right? And so these guys have to understand, like, if he just came out and said, I think you're the best in the league, everybody would be ripping Spags today, right? Oh, my God, you got Patrick Mahomes. Other than our guy, you're going to be, you're the best. Is he the best? Because I think we do have debate on that one. I think that was caught up in the moment. I really do. I think that was Spags caught up in the moment.
J.A., man.
To me, it's Josh Allen. I'm done trying to figure out who's the better quarterback behind Patrick Mahomes. I really do believe now, with all of my heart, and I know Mac will be happy about this, it is Josh Allen. He is the second best quarterback, in the AFC at this point in time. And he's better than Joe Burrow. He wins more than Joe Burrow. Even though he hasn't won the Super Bowl or been there, he still consistently has been in the postseason a lot more than Joe Burrow. Doesn't have 0-2 starts where they're digging out of these big-time holes all the time and stuff like that. So Josh Allen is your number 2 quarterback in this league. I still think Joe Burrow needs to realize more postseason success right now.
Agreed. He can just do more. He can do more than really any other quarterback. The only reason Mahomes is better is just because he's just simply better. And, his arm talent's there. But Josh Allen, from an athlete standpoint, arm perspective, yeah, man, he's got it all.
But except the winning.
Take him to dinner, man. Jeez.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. But it is a Wednesday.
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
So it is a Fescoe and Dusty Wednesday poll question, and the question is very simple. Who is the 5th best quarterback in the NFL? I think not unanimously, but I think most would agree it's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and who?
And then everybody's doing this now that I've seen because it is July. Here are the 4 best quarterbacks. You choose the order. Like, people don't want to go out on a limb anymore and say who the best are. Grow some balls, man. Pick Mahomes as the best quarterback. Pick Josh Allen as 2, Lamar 3, and Joe Burrow 4. Stake your name on it. Don't put these things out there and say, well, here are the top 4. You can determine who you think is best. That is such weak sauce.
So the 5th best quarterback that we put together yesterday, in our opinion, you can find this on the Fan 96.5 on our X page. Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford. Those are the 4 names. There are already 38 votes in. There'll be more on the other side of the break, plus Jay Binkley as well. Let me tell you something about these quarterbacks.
Dude called me from a bar to spit takes yesterday, dude. He's ready to go.
Put that on his tombstone. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Whoever that bozo was doing the armpit fart thing, come on, man.
Catch Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, one of my favorite things to do at the house is just to sit outside and enjoy the outdoors. And, for the last couple of years, we've had a patio. We've had all this kind of stuff put in, and we want to enjoy it. And really, the only way to enjoy it is mosquito-free. And that's where Aspen Lawn and Pest Control come in, because these guys are college-educated professionals that understand what they're doing. And they've made our yard mosquito-free, tick-free, all kinds of vermin-free. And we're able to go out there and enjoy our backyard. But more importantly, we're able to have our dog enjoy the backyard. She loves rolling around on the grass. And you know what happens when that goes on? You get those ticks, you get those fleas. You don't want any of that. So call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control and say, hey, put that mosquito dome over my house. We want to enjoy the outside. Our pets want to enjoy the outside. We want to sit outside and not get eaten to death. And Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can help you with that as well. And they can help you with their lawn. If they can help me with my lawn, they can help you with yours as well. They've turned our lawn from a mess into something that is absolutely, finally spectacular. And I'm proud to look at it every single day. They're going to give you up to half off your first application when you mention this ad, and they offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. So visit them today at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. But what if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you could sell your home for its current value so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9393 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Guys, don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at the Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Kansas City's leading experts in men's health. Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology that you won't find anywhere else except the Low T Center. Download now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Hi, this is Megan, your friend and jeweler from Shane Company. Did you know not all warranties are created equal? At Shane Company, our free lifetime warranty is all-inclusive and even protects the diamond in your engagement ring. We can offer such an incredible warranty because our rings are crafted to last a lifetime. As your friend and jeweler, our gift to you is peace of mind. At Shane Company, we also cover unlimited repairs, resizings, and cleanings for free for life, saving you thousands over time. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size, because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
The Other Place, Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Come hang out on the patio and listen to some great live music at most locations Thursday through Saturdays. Enjoy some great food and also some incredible beer specials. Make The Other Place your summer headquarters. The Other Place and theotherplace.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve.
965 The Fan. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This report brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Getting into downtown now a headache on 70 westbound. You hit delays around the Paseo. Crawls into the downtown loop. 670 westbound staying heavy out towards Grand. And then it's very slow getting on the ramp to 71 northbound. It moves better up past 11th Street. This week only, go to Peter's Clothiers to get half-off suits by Jack Henry. Choose from many colors and sizes. Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line. This week only, Jack Henry suits are half off. Come in today only at Peter's Clothiers. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
It's time for the College Football Report with Jay Binkley.
I'm still not sure I'm not Dusty's dad, but regardless.
On your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Back in on it. Jay Binkley's on the new college football game. You just have to find him. I don't know where he's at, but he's somewhere there. We have our poll question up, which is the Fescoe and Dusty Wednesday poll question. Who is the fifth best quarterback in the NFL? In our opinion, and most, the top four are Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and then who's fifth? Is it Jaden Daniels? Is it Justin Herbert? Is it Jalen Hurts? Is it Matthew Stafford? Those were the poll question opportunities that we put up. 46.6% say Jalen Hurts. Coming in second on the poll is Jalen Daniels at 34.5%. So, Mr. Binkley, who is the fifth best quarterback in the NFL?
The answer, Dust, man, let me tell you something about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has already been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one of them. I don't even think it's a question. That guy is just a winner, and we saw it firsthand last year.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. I think he is the fifth best quarterback in the NFL. I don't understand why there is so much Jalen Hurts hate that is out there for this guy. We were talking at our post-show meeting yesterday. I think it was either Mac or Dusty brought up. They go, he was the best player on the field in these 2 Super Bowls, and Patrick Mahomes was playing. Like, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles very, very well could have won the first Super Bowl against the Chiefs, and then obviously they did the second one, and Jalen Hurts gets paid no mind by people in the NFL like media that want to talk about who the great quarterbacks are. Everybody downplays that guy. I'm now officially a Jalen Hurts apologist.
You know, it's interesting because at Alabama he was a 26-2 and, you know, cruising, in the halftime of that Georgia game, national title game, was pulled for Tua, which that was a really ballsy move for Nick Saban. You don't see that happen. And then, of course, he ends up leaving and going to Oklahoma. But he's always kind of been that underdog story. And, man, he's the king of that tush push, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jay Binkley with us here on 96.5 The Fan. ESPN says Brashard Smith will be the surprise out of Chiefs camp, and you vehemently disagree with that take. Why?
Well, I mean, I love the fact that you're saying, all right, the 7th rounder is going to be that guy. I just don't see – I see it as a role player for the Chiefs. Hey, if he is and a 7th-round pick is that guy, so be it. I'm just looking at this team and looking at who I think will be the breakout guy kind of for the Chiefs this year. I think it's Karlaftis, man. You're thinking about a guy that's got that 5th-year option, you know, signed through 26. 10.5 sacks is career high. I think he gets to 12. I think George Karlaftis finally breaks out and is that guy. I mean, we've seen the potential. We know he's a damn good player, but I think he hits that career high in sacks this year. It's just showing, man, that off-season work he does with Tomball Lee and the jiu-jitsu fighting and everything else. I think he's just poised, man. He's a pro's pro, and I think he's the guy that I think will really turn some heads for Chiefs fans this year, that he takes that next step of getting to the quarterback, sack, strip, fumbles. Not that he's not doing it already, but there's a lot that kind of leaves on the field where he could have had that sack. I think he gets him this year. If Brashard gets it, that's great, and I think he's going to be used in specialized skills for the Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised if Brashard has more receptions out of the backfield or receiving yards than he does rushing yards. I think he's going to be a piece, but I wouldn't say that he's going to be the all-out surprise because we kind of know who and what he is. I mean, he's a 7th-round pick. I think that he's going to fill a role for the Chiefs and be a piece of that backfield, but I think George Karlaftis is that guy.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, Binkley, because you know our late, great friend Terez Paylor, what's his famous quote, right? The contract year is undefeated. And we're going to visit this topic. Yeah, we're going to visit this topic a little bit later. I'd like your opinion on it. Who do you see have a better contract year, Trent McDuffie or George Karlaftis?
I think Karlaftis. Just we already. I just think that is so valued. I know that cornerback and shutdown corner, huge piece, and I think McDuffie's going to be part of blitzing off the corner and getting to the quarterback at different times. But I think George Karlaftis can make that. Every down, this is like we look at T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh and what he does for that team. I mean, he just changes the game. He gets back there, gets that sack on 3rd and 4, puts the offense back on the field, or gets that strip sack fumble and flips the field, and then the offense comes back out there. But I just think that the George Karlaftis in that position in getting to the quarterback, because the Chiefs slipped to 18th last year in sacks. They were number 2 when they won those back-to-back Super Bowls. They were second in the NFL in sacks each of those years. They slipped back down to 18 last year, and I know it's been a big priority and why the Chiefs continue to get pass rushers in the draft like Ashton Gelati this year and Omar Norman-Lott, guys that can get to the quarterback, but I think Karlaftis kind of leads the way on that.
What's the number one thing this offseason that's kind of ticking you off about the coverage of our Kansas City Chiefs?
You know, guys, it's like yesterday when you were playing some of the audio of these all the haters nationally talking about Mahomes, and we've talked about it before that these guys think Mahomes is slipping and the end of the dynasty is coming for the Chiefs, and I don't hear any of them talking. Well, we've talked about it before. Steve Young built his Hall of Fame career in his 30s. Drew Brees had his best years in his 30s, and an MVP. And Rodgers, all these guys dominated in their 30s. But I always hear this slipping, and he's not even 29. And I think the one stat, and it drives me nuts, and I brought it up a bunch when I was doing a Carrington show the other day, is the one stat I've not heard nationally. I don't hear anybody talk about him going to 7 straight AFC title games. I don't hear that talked about a lot. But there's one thing that really identifies quarterbacks as winners, and that's winning in the postseason. And Mahomes has 17 postseason victories. 17. Only Tom Brady has more. Okay? He's got more now than Joe Montana. He's got more than Peyton Manning, who didn't win a playoff game until his 6th year. He's got more than John Elway. He's got more than Brett. Got more than anybody, and especially since he passed Joe this past year to 17. But you won't hear that stat or see that stat. He's not even 30. Like, he's number 2 all time. We think about all these great quarterbacks in the game of football, and you watch NFL films and you flip it on, you see great quarterbacks in the postseason and what defines them. Mahomes is starting number 2, and he's not even 30 years old. That stat there is, I think, the most glaring stat for Patrick Mahomes that shows why he's a winner. And to count him out going into any season when the dude has done nothing but win when he gets to the most important parts, it's just I value what quarterbacks do in the postseason. Regular season wins, that's fine, but winning the postseason, it's much different. I put something out to somebody tried to argue back on the text line the other day.
No way,
like,
really?
Does that mean Joe Flacco is better than Dan Marino? And I said, all right.
For sure.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm not saying that, but Joe Flacco's postseason record is 10-6. Dan Marino's was 8-10.
Wow.
Joe Flacco has a ring.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, some of these numbers, people, do your homework. Look at what happens when they actually get to the postseason, and then make your determination.
Yeah, that would require Emmanuel Acho doing homework, though, and not just spitting nonsense, Jay.
That guy's an idiot, man.
Perfect.
Let me tell you something, Dust, man. That guy's an idiot.
He is. He is, for sure. Binkley, enjoy trying to convince people that Joe Flacco is better than Dan Marino the rest of your life. So
No. Listen, I'm not saying Joe Flacco's better than Dan Marino, but I'm saying in the postseason he was.
Yeah, the numbers prove out. Yeah.
Fair point. All right, Bink, we'll talk to you next week and enjoy the games this weekend as the Royals are moving right along, baby.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I can't wait for this weekend.
No doubt. Jay Binkley there joining us here on Fescoe and Dusty. So
big weekend for Jay, huh?
Yeah, man. Flacco's better than Dan Marino.
I didn't realize Flacco was 10-6 in the playoffs.
Well, they went on that huge run.
Yep.
But that's only 3 games, though.
Were they a wild card team?
I think
it was 4.
They beat Denver with like a Flacco heave down the sideline.
That was so good.
That's what he'd do. Just throw it up 50-50.
But okay, but even still, I mean, say you win 3 or 4 playoff games a year, 10's a lot. I mean, Joe Montana only had 16.
He won 4 in 1 year, and then he won 1 with the. Did he win 1 with the Browns?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
he did.
Fifth.
Baker played in the game that was against us during COVID when Sorensen saved the day.
Yeah, and Stefanski was in a basement because he had COVID.
That's right.
So he was coaching from
his mom's basement.
So,
literally,
he didn't win 1 with the Browns. It was all with the Ravens then.
That had to all be with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Did he have he's with who now though? The Colts?
No, he's with the Browns.
No, he's back with the Browns.
The Browns. Yeah.
He will not mentor Shedeur Sanders.
I don't blame him. I'm 35 years old, man. I've got 10 playoff wins. I don't need to do this. You need me more than I need you at this point in time. Boy, the Shedeur Sanders stuff is unbelievable. Every day, somebody is releasing videos of him throwing a football and working out and doing all that kind of stuff. Good. they should be doing that kind of stuff.
Coming up on the other side, Mac's going to do his kind of stuff because he's got a burning Chiefs question again on a Wednesday here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Hey, what go up, man?
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Park & Go are awesome. I got 2 texts yesterday from friends of mine talking about Park & Go and how they're utilizing it as they head out on summer vacation. And there's nothing better than hearing folks say, hey, I use Park & Go because of you, and we had the best experience, because I know you're going to have a great experience at Park & Go. Nobody likes parking and dealing with all that kind of stuff at the airport. Park & Go takes all the stress out of that. You're going to make your reservation early, right when you book your flight. Make that reservation at bookparkandgo.com and prepay. It's done. The reservation's taken care of. You prepaid. That expense is done. And then when you show up, you'll be directed to that covered parking spot that you reserved. That's right. Every spot at Park & Go is covered, so your car is always protected from the elements, no matter what time of year it is. And as soon as you pull in that spot that was reserved for you, the bus is there to take you right to the airport terminal. And when you get back, this is Park & Go's best attribute, I think, anyway. The bus is there waiting for you. Just grab your bags, walk off the plane, jump on the bus, and it's right back to your car you go. So do what we did and join their frequent Parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and operated.
It's time to have the best steak of your life. Booth Creek Wagyu. KC's premier Wagyu meat market is changing the way America eats beef. And now you can join the Wagyu revolution at 2 KC locations, 135th and Metcalf and at 95th in Knoll. Whether you're looking to wow your family at a tailgate or sear the best steaks ever on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. You won't regret it. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations. Open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Wish your outdoor space felt more like an escape? Let Powell Exteriors KC create the perfect custom deck or patio cover built to keep you cool, comfortable, and loving life outside. It's not too late. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. Siding, windows, roofing, they do it all. But this time of year, it's all about decks, cover, and shade. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule your free estimate. Powell Exteriors KC, Kansas City's exterior experts.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
The Outlaws are coming. Get ready for the electrifying Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, Saturday, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Tickets starting at $20 at the gate. Check out Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details. Royals coverage sponsored by the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull on July 19th.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony, plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric. Missouri side 70 eastbound gets heavy around Brooklyn Avenue. Off again on again, heavy stuff down towards 23rd Street, getting into a construction zone where you're down to one lane. Stay comfortable year-round with expert HVAC installs. Zero down, payments from $150 a month. Schedule now at anthonyphce.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch every show, plus video clips and shorts, all right from your phone, desktop, or tablet. The Fan's YouTube channel at 965 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Diving right back into it here on 96.5 The Fan. Jay, I know you're listening. Text line comes in from the 660. Wins are not a QB stat. Okay, that's fine. Wins are not a pitching stat. Is it the same?
Yeah, 100%.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Completely.
Somebody asked about pitching from the 479. Dusty, how about Mizorowski's 12 Ks last night against the Dodgers, handing them their 5th straight loss? Dude's a freak. Yeah. That's the first time the Dodgers have lost 5 or more in a row since 2019.
Is it really?
Is it?
Wow, how about that? They
Also,
lost 19-1 the other day. The
Sure
worst
they
loss
did.
at Dodger Stadium in their history.
4th of July. And then everybody
Yeah.
stuck around for the fireworks.
Did they?
Yeah, that was the tweet.
I missed that. It was 4th of July. They got beat 19-1 and people stayed for the fireworks.
It said 19-1 home loss, yet the whole crowd stayed for fireworks. I'm like, you better believe it.
We did our baseball
That's
trip one
awesome.
year to Dodger Stadium, and they had fireworks after the game.
Cool.
And they let everybody on the field.
That's what they did on the 4th of July. They let
Yeah,
everybody on the field.
It was awesome. Yeah. So I've been on Dodger Stadium field twice now. Once for
Wow.
Guns N' Roses and once for the fireworks. It was cool. They opened like the center field gates and everybody just meandered out there. Now, the thing is, the wall was like up a little bit, so everybody had to step over all these people falling.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, it's like, boom.
Exactly.
That was the first time I experienced a $10 beer at a ballpark. And it was, I forget how long ago when we went to Dodger Stadium. It was probably about a decade now ago. And we were sitting out in the bleachers because that's what you do at Dodger Stadium, right? And Haney called a foul ball or a home run or something. And I booed him until he gave it to a kid. And that they had $10 Modelo's. I'm like, $10 now for a beer? Must be L.A. When was the last time you saw a beer under $10 at a ballpark, right?
Oh, yeah, $10. I'd love it.
Yeah, you love it, right? And I was trying to justify. I'm like, well, that's really 2 Modelo's in one and, you know, whatnot, because it's a big can of beer. Tiger Stadium, by the way, $15 for a drink, for a beer, whatever, 12 ounces.
I think there's I hate to be the thanks coach guy, but I think there is a section at the K that's like
They have like a $5 beer or
I think
something.
it's a $5, but I think it's a 12-ounce Miller Lite
So
or something.
what?
But there you go.
Yeah.
There's under 10.
You know what? If you're selling me a can,
Kilgore practice.
That's right. But if you're selling me a can of beer for $5 at a ball game, I'm in.
Yeah.
I hope it's
Smash.
a can
Because
too.
everybody it is.
Oh, it is.
Okay, good.
I think I'm pretty sure because everybody that I've talked to that wants to do the 9 for 9, the 9 inning challenge, they're like, I'm like, that's expensive. They're like, nah, man, you can cheap it out if you go to the discount or whatever that is, the value corner, the value pack. You can get like a pretzel, a beer, a hot dog, and it's like 3, 4, and 5 or something like that.
But
So-
you have to hunt out those stands, right?
Oh, I'm sure, but I mean, it's worth the hunt to go for $5 instead of because you know, in the middle of the summer you want a 22-ounce like tall beer, so lukewarm by the time you get 3 drinks in.
Yeah. Or Luke Combs.
Yeah, Luke Combs. Good guy.
Luke Combs, lukewarm, Nixon 5, right? Mike Brown got named yesterday head coach. Exciting times for the Knickerbockers.
And then Binkley just texted me and said, "You better tell that text line that postseason wins are a quarterback stat, not regular season wins."
I don't. It's an interesting conversation, right? Because
I think postseason wins because who gets the blame if you don't win?
The quarterback. Always.
How many times do people hate Alex Smith?
Right. It was.
I can't
always,
win in the playoffs.
See, that's a great counterpoint that you had because Max said, "Hey, stats aren't a quarterback win," and then you just go, "Well, who gets to blame when you lose?" It's always on the quarterback. It's always, unless you have like a guy like Patrick Mahomes, will find ways to blame the defense, even if it wasn't their fault, because we don't want to blame Patrick Mahomes. But that's just the thing of the nature is you lose a playoff game, everybody blames the quarterback. Lamar can't win the big one. Maybe his team can't win the big one.
100%. I agree. I don't think that's fair either.
Yeah, Lamar didn't fumble the ball. Zay Flowers did.
Right. But Lamar
Jerry
gets
Sneed punching that thing.
Yeah, but Lamar gets dinged for that. And they'll say Lamar's 2-6 in the postseason when he could have been, let's just argue, 3-5 if they don't fumble that football. But that's not on Lamar, but that goes on his record.
On the flip side, Burrow gets all the credit for that run. He's never had a touchdown pass in the postseason in the fourth quarter or overtime. Not once.
Yeah.
Never.
That's crazy stat right there. Like that right there shows me the size of your balls stat. Like and I hate to put it that way, but like that's how you know how big a guy are you. Like if you produce late, that's why in baseball they have those stats for close and late games. You know what players do when the games are close and it's late in the game. That shows if you're a winner or not. And if you're in the fourth quarter and overtime in the playoffs and you don't have a touchdown pass as a quarterback and you've been there a number of games, and you may not even be in the top 4 then anymore. You know, like you got to get it done when it matters most. That's where legacies are born. Patrick Mahomes ain't gonna have his legacy because of the regular season.
Legacy was born in Lee Summit, actually.
Is it? Legacy
Park.
Golf Course? Yeah, I like
Legacy
that.
Park.
Yeah, with the soccer fields and everything
That's
going
where
on.
like Taylor Swift impersonators go, and kids have no idea what they're going through because they don't know if that's Taylor Swift, and they get close, like, Mom, that's not Taylor.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Taylor Swift impersonators are now messing with kids?
No, I'm saying that they're there performing, but like kids like might think it's really Taylor Swift.
yeah,
They get closer, like that's not Taylor Swift.
No, I thought you had
Mom
like people
lied.
impersonating Taylor Swift trying to lure kids or something. I'm like, good Lord,
Yeah,
man.
it's like the same thing when the kids go to the mall and they're like, Mom,
that
Santa. Wasn't really Santa, was it?
Yes, it was.
Well, that's one of his helpers. They have to disguise so you can take the message back to the North Pole.
Yeah.
Mac, why don't you take us to your burning question?
Burning Chiefs question. I get this from you, Dustman. Who has the better contract
How
here?
many days?
59.
Sean
that comes
Barber.
up yeah.
Barbershop days away, under 2 months.
Remember we started this like 99 days to go, Mac? How fast time goes. It was Halloween coming up here quick.
It's pretty crazy.
It lets me know how big your balls are.
That's right. It does.
Just trying to put, what is it? We're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub?
Yeah.
I still don't know what that means.
I don't either.
But I like it.
I love it. I'm in. Who has a better contract year this year? You mentioned it to Jay earlier. We're adding another name on that list. George Karlaftis, Isaiah Pacheco, or Trent McDuffie. Out of those three, who has the better contract year?
I'm going to say it's easier to say George Karlaftis. Like if he gets 12 sacks like Binkley said.
Yeah.
How do you argue against that for having the best contract here? Like McDuffie can be great, and he didn't make any plays because nobody threw to him, so he shut down the whole side of the field. I think the running back position is just going to be I don't want to use the term hot mess, but you got a lot of guys out there. I don't think anybody's really going to stand out, right? So I'm going to go with George Karlaftis because it's easier to see if he had a big contract year because sacks are so impactful. You can get the strip sack. You can, knock the ball up into the air, pick it off, sack, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's easier from my standpoint to see George Karlaftis having a contract year, if you will.
Man, it's tough because I don't think – so I look at it this way. I'm going to say Trent McDuffie.
Okay.
Because Trent McDuffie is apparently not getting signed this offseason, which I think is a giant mistake by the Chiefs, which is why I think he has the best contract year of these three. Isaiah Pacheco is not going to set the market for running backs. He's just not. George Karlaftis is not going to set the market for DNs or, that position. Trent McDuffie could be the highest paid corner in football. And what's one thing that we've always heard from Brett Veach? They never pay, or he never pays the highest paid player. Now we've seen it with Creed Humphrey. We've seen it with Chris Jones.
And then in 10 minutes, somebody else gets paid more.
The thing is, you have Trey Smith, George Karlaftis that are on contract years. Leo Chenal's going to cost a lot of money. But Trent McDuffie is arguably the third top 3 corner in football. The 2 guys that are behind him on the list or above him on the list, depending on where you rank them, are already paid. So if Trent McDuffie goes out there and is like, oh, I thought I'd get paid this offseason. Humble guy, great person. But again, at the end of the day, we all want money, right? We all want to be successful.
It's funny you say that because I saw a quote this morning that has a lot to do with this from Hank Aaron.
No.
And he signed with the Braves because they offered him at the time $50 more a month than the Giants were going to pay him. He had the opportunity to play alongside Willie Mays. And he said, the only reason I didn't get to play my whole career alongside Willie Mays, he says, because I took $50 more a month to go to Atlanta. So even back then, even in small terms, guys want to get paid. They don't care where it is. They want the bag. And Trent McDuffie, he's one of those guys now. You got a fistful of rings already, man. Now it's time to get paid.
I took 5,000 less to do this morning show. I'm kidding. That's a shot. I'm kidding. Number 1 for a reason. But no, I think that McDuffie, with the way that he could have this more, because he's already proven his worth.
Yeah.
But now you can prove it to where you can be like Mahomes, where you could say, because the Royals got it right with Bobby. They paid Bobby.
Yep.
And then the next year, Bobby Witt Jr. went completely just nuts.
Yeah.
And imagine what that contract would have been. Now that Chiefs being like, which makes me throw in the conversation, is he going to get that contract with the Chiefs? Because if he sets the market, which he could by doing exactly what he's been doing, lock down the guys in the slot, like Binkley said, blitz quarterbacks, show that skill set, McDuffie might be just like, Hey, man, I don't know what your guys' knacks against my game is, but here's my stats for the last 4 years.
Yeah, but this is one of their coveted players. He's a cornerstone guy, and I know that for a fact just by talking to enough people who have said, let's get this guy involved in the community, please, as much as we possibly can. We view him as a cornerstone guy of this organization. And look, he has been involved a lot in doing things in Kansas City, and I know he's been a coveted guy now for 2 years with this team. And so he's on that list of the guys they want to pay. But again, now we've got this Trey Smith thing that's kind of hanging over our heads right now.
July 15th.
And I hate to be this reminds me of the Chris Jones thing. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, or whatever they say.
Again.
Can't get fooled again, right? You can't get fooled again.
Now watch this drive.
Yeah, exactly. And so now I'm a little cautious, I guess you could say, with the Trey Smith thing, because I thought the Chris Jones thing, they all thought the Chris Jones thing was going to play out. It didn't the way it did. We're starting to repeat history. This is why history is important to study, so you don't repeat it. Now we're going down this line with Trey Smith. And so I know how they operate. They want to get Trey Smith signed, and then it'll be they do it in order. But this Trey Smith thing has got to get moving, and the longer it takes, the less time they can spend maybe getting something done early with Trent McDuffie, too.
Who say you, Mac, on the contract here?
Still optimistic on the Trey Smith, but you're right. We thought Chris Jones a year ago, 2 years ago from now, that was going to be no problem. I'd say McDuffie for the same reasons you did, and I'd add on the fact that he's going to be playing his pure position that no one's talking about. He was outside corner. He was playing against the X receiver last year. That's not what he's an first-team All-Pro, and he's a slot corner. The reason they got Christian Fulton, I believe, is for that reason. They can slide him in. He's the best slot corner in the NFL, and he's going to be playing that again. That's why he's the answer.
There we go. It's Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, Dusty.
Allen Iverson was the answer.
Nope. Now there's Iverson Allen that plays baseball.
That's great. I love that. I love the fact that the parents did that.
Iverson Allen.
Your last name is Iverson, and they named you wait. No, your last name is Allen, and they named him Iverson. Love it.
He's the problem. We come back with way too early playoff predictions plus one word here, and we'll go back to our poll question on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, how do you navigate today's real estate market when your last move was over 2 decades ago? Well, Michael and Patricia had been living in their beautiful home in Parkwood Hills subdivision for over 25 years. And as they were getting older, they realized they needed to downsize, but were nervous. They hadn't bought or sold a home in over 2 decades, and the market had changed drastically. That's when they decided to meet the Sharp Homes team. The team immediately put Michael and Patricia at ease and developed a plan to help them find a suitable home before listing their current house. They worked tirelessly to find the perfect little ranch home where the couple could envision spending their retirement years. And now it's time to put the house on the market. They held 2 open houses, and by Sunday evening, there were multiple offers to choose from. Michael and Patricia ended up getting over the asking price for their home, and they couldn't be happier and knew they had made the right decision to work with the Sharp Homes team. And the Sharp Homes team can give you options. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, you can do that. Contact them to discuss their instant offer program. Contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Check them out on Google at Sharp Homes Team. That's Google Sharp Homes Team, and you can see why Dawn and her team are the best. It's Sharp Homes Team.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be, and if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Heartland Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Granger. Granger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
70 westbound heading out of downtown. Slow around Brooklyn Avenue. Stays off again, on again. Heavy out to 23rd Street. With construction, you're down to 1 lane. Lee Summit, US 50 westbound. Slow rolling from 3rd Street up to 470. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
2 things, kind of 3. 1, follow along on our Twitter page, TheFan965, and our Instagram page, TheFan965, because we have our Love Island posts. You have got to see Cody on today's post.
I mean, it is fantastic.
I mean, gold just looks like gold.
Gold is a thirst trap. Let me just tell you right now. That Alex Gold thirst trap is floating around out there. All the moms that have young daughters are going to be calling Alex today.
Drew kind of used Photoshop for gold.
Yeah, or Drew.
They did not use Photoshop for Alex or Drew. Cody,
Nope.
They clearly did.
No, Drew's got really big nipples in his picture. Yes. And then there's Cody. Good hell.
And then there's Maud.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way that's it. And then there's Maud.
Gold's got those yum lines. For those of you that don't know what those are.
I haven't seen the Alex picture, only from a distance that you showed me. Can you show me Alex?
It's on the Fan 965.
Is it on X?
Yep. And then in ours, Mac continues to move on. He won the voting of Love Island.
Mac's awesome.
Yeah, Mac got 38%. You and I each got 31.
Nice.
So, yeah, rock away, young blood.
Yeah, there you go. You're the young guy. Oh, my. The Alex, yeah, that is definitely not Photoshopped by Alex. No.
But look at Drew's nipples.
I mean, my God, Alex. I mean, I'm not telling you, every woman between 25 and 35 is going to be sitting at their desk today drooling over Alex. Smash. Cody,
I know
not
that
so
I'm
much.
hard.
Drew looks good, too.
Drew looks great.
Drew with the with the tat on the arm. He looks normal.
When I looked at the voting results from when they posted on Instagram, there were 7 votes and 100% were Drew. I
tell you, all the moms with single daughters are going to be getting up.
Happy Wednesday.
I'm already up. Fescoe and Dusty Wednesday poll question on X. Who is the 5th best quarterback in the NFL? We asked you all, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, or Matthew Stafford. 40.2% say Jalen Hurts. 33.6% say Jaden Daniels. So, Mac, your guy's narrowing closer.
My guy's Stafford.
Oh, it is Stafford. I thought you said it was Daniels yesterday. You kept saying Daniels.
I'd have Stafford, and I'd have Daniels at 6, I think.
Okay.
Why do you have Stafford as the 5th best quarterback?
Super Bowl winner, dude.
No. I think he's just...
Stats don't lie.
I think... Okay. Yeah, that's it. There you go. He did it. Yeah, you got it. No, he's one of the most prolific passers this game's ever seen. He's still got it. He's smart.
Why doesn't anybody recognize that, though? I mean, because you're right.
Do.
I don't think the casual fan would ever
say he's the 6th or 7th if they don't say he's the 5th.
I would bet if we went around and just started interviewing people and say, name the 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL, I bet half the people don't mention Matthew Stafford. I feel like he's always the forgotten guy.
I'd be surprised if that were the case, but that could be true. I mean, and he's cut down the turnovers in recent years. I just think to me, he's that guy. I think Daniels will overtake that. I think Hurts is closer to Purdy than he is to Patrick Mahomes, which I don't think is an insult. I think Brock Purdy's a really good quarterback, but that's just where I'd have him.
I think my top 10 go in this order. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Hurts. Daniels, Herbert, Goff, Stafford, Dak. And the only reason I have Stafford down there is because I think this is the year it happens. And that's the only reason. Otherwise,
Stafford.
Otherwise he's 6th. Plus, they took away Cooper Kupp, which I get it. Like, they got Devontae Adams. They had Puka Nacua. He's in a battle of custody. I'm kidding. Kind of. That's a serious story, but I don't know if that's a distraction on the field. But didn't have Cooper Kupp last year for the majority of the year due to injury. But he's a year older. And I know that, we watch football, and I think the big regression year this year come from Stafford and Derrick Henry. And
I don't disagree with that. They're
older. And I don't know if they get to the point where maybe they're just freaks and they're always going to have it. But, I didn't think Peyton Manning's arm was going to fall off like it did. I didn't think that Drew Brees' shoulder was going to fall off like it did. And eventually that happens. And I think that's the year now that is Matthew Stafford.
And that's why you always want to be a year early. People always get mad. They cut players or they trade players, and then you realize they made the right decision. They got out early on that one. I think you're right about Derrick Henry. I think it's hard to do what he did last year, 2 years in a row, with all that wear and tear and all that pounding that he had. I think it is going to be a regression year for Derrick Henry, and it may be for Matthew Stafford as well, because guys get old immediately. It happens, and that's where good general managers come in. I mean, that again, not to continue to tip the cap to Brett Veach on this one, but he fits every category of good general manager. They know when to get away from players. They absolutely 100% know when to get away from players. And I know fans don't like to hear that, but I'm one of those guys, man. I'll get away from everybody. I'll get away from everybody on these rosters other than maybe Bobby Witt and maybe Patrick Mahomes. And even those two guys, if somebody called and offered me the moon, that great planet, maybe you trade the moon for them. But Bobby and Patrick are pretty much the untouchables. Everybody else is up for discussion right now. And that's how you operate a winning franchise. You have to be willing to make the hard move early to turn those rosters over and not rely on these careers. Like, if you're relying on Derrick Henry to come back and have the year that he did last year, this year, you're playing with fool's gold and you're playing with fire, and you're not giving your team a fair shake at going out there and winning. Derrick Henry had a career year. Take it for what it's worth and find a way to get better from what Derrick Henry did by not having to utilize Derrick Henry. You got to be able to move on from guys.
And maybe I'm, off on this. I mean, I know Peyton Manning missed 2011 with a neck injury, but at the age of 37, which is what Matthew Stafford is, Peyton Manning had the best year of his career. So maybe we'll see one more from Stafford. I mean, Manning had a great offense. I don't know if it's better than the one that Matthew Stafford might be.
Was that a Denver team or was that a
Denver?
Yeah,
that was 2013. That was the 5,455 touchdowns.
Demarius Thomas, Julius Thomas, Wes Welker.
A lot of Thomas was Nixon
stacked.
5. Yeah,
they were very stacked.
They had Tebow on that team, didn't
they? They did. They did not.
Who was the backup quarterback that the Chiefs forced into the game? Was it Jim Drunkenmiller?
I believe it was either Brock Osweiler or Paxton Lynch.
I think it was Osweiler. Yeah. Threw 6 picks Peyton Manning did, or 7 or something. It was unreal. It was
awful.
awesome.
And then
so great.
And then they won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah. So annoying.
Well, their defense did.
Yeah, absolutely
For sure.
they did.
Von
Yeah.
Miller, MVP.
Yeah.
I would say that Derrick Henry has not shown signs of slowing down. That's all I'll say. But you're right. The cliff comes sometimes. It does. But people have been saying that with him for 4 years.
Yeah, but most players don't show signs of slowing down. It just happens. And you go, what happened to that guy? And you're like, well, age.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think it's interesting to know because look, some guys are better than time, and sometimes they go further on. And Tom Brady played till he was like 44, whatever the hell it was. I don't know, but maybe Stafford's got it in him. I don't know. He had an elbow injury the year before. He's always getting hit. He's got a new he
gets hit a lot.
No, there's more signs with Stafford for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
But Tom Brady was also very different with the way that he took care of himself. Like nobody takes care of their body like Tom Brady did or does. I mean, and I'm not talking about the Botox. Like all of that TB12, eating clean, all of that kind of stuff. Like it's a full-time job to take care of your body. And Tom Brady did it better than anybody else.
Looking at the way too early playoff predictions, according to, I believe it was FanDuel Sportsbook, they have their predictions. We'll just do the AFC. 1 seed is Buffalo, 2 seed is Baltimore. 3 seed is Kansas City, 4 seed is Houston. So there's your division winners. Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, and Houston.
Does anybody want to argue with any of those division winners? Doesn't it make it kind of boring? Like the NFL claims parity. There's no parity in the NFL.
Not in the AFC for as towards the NFC, but I would argue maybe Cincy over Baltimore. Because if we're having the argument of Derrick Henry having the regression year, like is Lamar going to have to do it all? And I think he can, but to be fair, Lamar Jackson's best 2 years of his career been the last 2 years? Is that fair? He was MVP.
Yeah. I mean, his first year.
So maybe he's getting better.
His first full season, he had the MVP too. He's unanimous, I think. So that'd be up there.
But the last 2 years, he's been great, right?
He's been unbelievable.
And he's had who is his running back?
Derrick Henry for one of those years.
Yeah. Last year was his first year with Derrick Henry.
Yep.
So he had Derrick Henry last year, could have won MVP, did win MVP the year prior.
Yes.
So we'll see. And I mean, you have another year of Zay Flowers in the league. I don't think they added a whole lot to their weapons and on offense. Now their defense is going to be great.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the route they'll go. And again, look, they're
But who's going to get credit for the wins, right? Lamar.
But again, like, I don't know, man. Like, I could see Cincinnati winning that division. I really could. But they have, outside of your division winners, your wild card teams, which would be the 5th seed in Denver, the 6th seed in Cincinnati, and your 7th seed is the Aaron Rodgers-led Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Did you see his picture yesterday, by the way, that was floating around?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, my God, that looked terrible. That looked fake.
So bad.
Like he was posing for,
Olin Mills at Sears. I thought it was Negan from Walking Dead and the Steelers uniform.
Honest to God, I thought it was one of our Love Island posts at first. I'm like, why do they have Cody wearing? Oh, that's Aaron Rodgers, not Cody. So it was an awful picture. I mean, just a terrible, terrible picture of Aaron Rodgers that was floating around the internet yesterday. Well, I don't think much invokes confidence for Aaron Rodgers right now if you're a Steelers fan. But the caption was, Aaron Rodgers looks like a divorced dad on Facebook.
I feel that.
How you doing, ladies? I'm putting myself out there.
I feel that one.
All right, Aaron.
I'd say to your question about the AFC, Bob, most people outside of this market are going to be saying the AFC West is that division. So we're not going to have those conversations because we know that's not the division that's going to have any issues.
You look around and you're like, this division, this conference, it's already decided, barring injuries and things like that. Again, the NFL does a great job of saying there's parity. They've done an unbelievable job of convincing the masses that there's parity in this league, and there is not parity in the NFL. Just look at what the Chiefs have done. There's more parity in Major League Baseball. Everybody goes, it's always the Yankees. Yankees haven't done anything since 2009.
Somebody in the text line says Houston might have the worst offensive line in football. That whole division is so bad, I wouldn't even rule out anyone.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I don't think Tennessee's winning.
God, that division, I mean, and I know you lived down there for a hot minute.
Put some money on Tennessee to win that division.
There's nothing interesting about that division whatsoever. There's not a team that's interesting in that division.
I think Tennessee's interesting.
Do you?
Cam Ward?
Yeah.
He's the first overall pick?
He was?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
I think they're interesting. I think Tennessee's interesting.
Had Vrabel still been the coach down there, I'd probably have a different opinion than Tommy Callahan. Is that who the coach is there?
Brian, yep.
Somebody like that?
I think Jacksonville's interesting. You got that Wacko and Duval.
Well, from that standpoint.
And then you've got, is this the last year we see Trevor Lawrence as a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yep. That would be me.
Honest question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like, is this it? Like,
remember when he was the biggest winner ever, never lost a game?
Right. Life happens fast, man. Like, is this the year that, when we're watching, is this the last year we see Trevor Lawrence as a starting quarterback? Does he get moved to the bullpen after this year?
He might.
Does he lose his starting position this year?
Usually you see Usually it's the other way around. Like Trevor Lawrence was down big in the playoffs, came back and won that game. You should be saying that about the guy out in L.A. whose coach wears the khakis, right? They blew that lead. That's the last time you're going to see them. But we're having that conversation about Trevor Lawrence. Is this his third coach now?
So he's got Urban Meyer, Doug, and now,
Did he have Herb? Was Herb his guy?
That was his first year. That's why I
kind of
throw it out. Worst head coach of all time, rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so but he's still on his third head coach. That doesn't mean success for anybody in this league right now. I mean, it's crazy to have your third head coach and you're in year 5 or whatever it is. But like, you're not going to sit down and watch Jacksonville versus the Colts. I mean, that is a Spiro Didi's noon game on CBS, baby.
I mean, I'll be locked in.
I mean,
I'm a nerd.
You will not be. You'll be on Red Zone, and they'll go to that game for like a last-second touchdown or something.
Fair. I'm just saying, like, I'll have fantasy people involved in that somehow.
Yeah.
But you're not saddling up going, ooh, I get 6 games to choose from. Let me go Colts, Jags today.
No, that's me.
Fair. That's fair. All right, Mac.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
All right, we're jumping around here. We're starting with Summer League basketball because this story blew my mind. One word on how much you'd pay for this game, or one word on how much people are paying for this game. We can do both. Cooper Flagg versus Bronny James this Summer League, selling historic amounts. Lower bowl tickets are going for $650. Courtside tickets are going for $2,500. This is for Cooper Flagg, former first overall pick, if you don't know, and Bronny James, who has barely played at all, and he's a second-round pick from last season. That is what people are paying $2,500 for.
Those people are stupid.
Is that
to
one
see
word?
Bronny and Flagg?
Yeah.
In an exhibition game.
Yes. So
that would be
stupid.
like paying for preseason football.
Yeah,
or paying $500 to go watch a spring training baseball game because somebody may get in that. I mean, that is dumb. If you've got that kind of money, just write me a check.
Seriously.
You put that to better use than watching a preseason, not even preseason, summer league exhibition basketball game. You're going to see Cooper Flagg a lot in real games, right? And I would imagine Bronny James is going to play in some games that are real as well.
Probably.
I don't need to spend a dime to go watch. That's ridiculous. That money right there, that's why people hate America, right? Like, you got people out here spending $2,500 on a courtside seat to go watch a summer league game? Kick rocks, man.
Rich is what that is.
Whew,
That's my one word. If you got money like that, like, we got money to blow. Is that the Lil Wayne song or whoever sang that Money to Blow song? That's the definition right there of rich. $2,500 go see Cooper Flagg and Bronny James. Try to get a dual auto or something like that, or just try to get an autograph of Cooper Flagg. You're going to put $2,500 into your seat and try to sell like a rookie card for like $6,000 and make money. More power to you, but I mean, come on now. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'm ever going to have money to pay for a $2,500 ticket to see a preseason basketball
Summer
game.
League?
Nuts.
To watch who makes more threes in their career, Bronny James or Angel Reese?
Bronny James.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a good question. Do you know that Angel Reese's team is the second worst in the WNBA? Do you see that crossover dribble? She just got pocket picked.
Bless her heart.
And then last night she spikes the clipboard out of her coach's hand. Not a good look. She sucks.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, she waved everyone off for an ISO.
She just
waved everybody off. They got her pocket picked.
She just needs to come out to Kansas City and meet me at Green Lady Lounge, and we can have a good conversation.
Has anybody been more hyped and been as bad at sports as her?
Shoot, she's up
Shedeur
there.
Sanders.
She's on a short list. Shedeur Sanders is a great one.
In all fairness,
Trevor
though, we
Lawrence.
have not seen Shedeur Sanders play in the NFL yet. I'm giving him a hot minute to see what he can do, right?
Trey Lance? Yeah, I don't know.
Trey Lance, maybe.
Yeah, he's a top 5 pick. Yeah, I don't know.
But like they're trying to make Angel Reese something. She is a bit player at best.
Yep,
I
agree.
Best. Stop trying to say she's the second best player in the league and put her on the same level as Caitlin Clark. She's not even close. No. And it really is disrespectful to Caitlin Clark to constantly compare her and Angel Reese because she's so much better than Angel Reese at basketball.
I'd say it's disrespectful to other players, too, because they should be talking about other ones, too, that are better than her.
Right. 913 recently missed 4 shots last night, though.
There you go.
Next one.
How many did she take?
5. Well, you miss all the shots you don't take. Michael Scott.
Yeah, there you go. One word, Livy Dunn. She doesn't get rejected probably ever, except for this time. She tried to purchase Babe Ruth's New York City apartment for $1 million with cash in hand. She was turned down.
Yeah,
one word.
That's funny. Funny, because Livy Dunn never turned down, right?
No.
These people in this co-op in New York are like, yeah, we don't really want you here. It's probably old people, and it's probably families that live in this building, right? At $1 point some million. I looked at the pictures of this thing on Zillow. Not for $1 point some million. That was okay. Really? Nothing great. I mean, it's built-in cabinets people like. I guess I don't know. But the washing machine was in the kitchen.
Ugh.
So like, I'm out on that.
Yeah.
And so it's probably families and old people. They don't want, Livy Dunn there because the young families, the wives don't want their husbands checking her out in the elevator. And the old people don't want the young people there partying. So they rejected her. She was going to pay cash, as you said, for this thing. And they said, nah.
See ya.
I guess my one word is prideful. Like, Livy Dunn doesn't really have a track record as being like a party girl.
No kidding.
She's not like jamming out. She's not like, if it was Sydney Sweeney, I'd understand. You're like, well, you kind of like, you're kind of known to bring a lot of attention. I know Livy Dunn will, and like Paul Skenes, but like, what this also tells me is that this is foreshadowing as well. Like, Paul Skenes is going to be a Yankee. Like, I'm letting you know.
Oh, that's a good point.
I told you.
But she's also a Jersey girl.
She doesn't want to live in Pittsburgh.
Right. Nobody does.
Paul Skenes does not let that go. And Paul Skenes clearly isn't working in Pittsburgh because they're not winning the games that he gives up 1 run or no runs. He's going to win. I mean, this is crazy, dude. He's going to start in the All-Star game. He's going to win the Cy Young coming off a Rookie of the Year, and he's going to have a below 1 whip. He's going to have a sub-2 ERA.
And be like 4-19.
He's going to be 6-13. And they're going to be like, oh, no wonder you won out. It's what happened to Greinke. Greinke's Cy Young year in 2009 couldn't get any run support, had a good ERA, had a okay record, I guess, was an all-star, and was like, I can't be in Kansas City. I'm better than this.
Are we to the point now as sports fans where we understand it ain't the player anymore, it's all about the organization? Because for a while there, we were mad at the Royals for not re-signing Greinke or Beltran or all these guys. And then you have to take a step back and you have to realize this isn't the players. These organizations suck. And as much as we want to be fans of our organization, what the Glass family did here for 20 years, what did they do? And so that's going on in Pittsburgh right now. I hope everybody in Pittsburgh doesn't resent Paul Skenes, and they all resent, and I think they do at this point in time. Whoa. They resent the organization, not the player, because the player is a superstar. He don't want to be part of that dumpster fire.
I mean, not only that, but I mean, like, Livy's going to travel a lot. So, I mean, it's not like she's going to be living there. That's dumb, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, God, I could go for a whole show
but
on Babe Ruth.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. It has to do with, like...
They're prideful about it, though.
No, I think what I'm looking at is, like, there's so many people out there that have so much more money than her.
Well, that's
more.
true,
I mean,
too. They could get...
Like, they rejected somebody with cash in hand for a $1 million plus apartment. How many more of those people are out there? Oh, we got a list a mile long, man.
Prideful. Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah.
No, you're done? Okay.
Oh, I'm all right? All right, great.
Yeah,
I'll keep it up. All right,
Yeah.
I didn't know. One word on this was Lawrence Butler for the A's. He started out the game pretty awesome, pretty electric.
Crazy snap. Lawrence Butler wastes no time. Swings at the first pitch. This one deep out to center field, and the berm. It's in play. Lawrence heading to third. He's going to come home. Here's the throw. It's not going to be there in time. It is a home run. Lawrence Butler with it inside the Parker, and that's an exciting start for the Athletics, up 1-0.
There you go. One word on Lawrence Butler.
He's awesome.
The A's are fun, man.
Yeah.
The A's are fun.
They're having fun playing.
Nick Kurtz, Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker.
Yeah.
Butler.
Damn.
You got the dude in center field that makes plays every single time that there's some sort of highlight. You're like, where are we going? We're going out to the minor league field in the A's play. So sad is what that is because they have so much there. They just don't. Again, you go back to Pittsburgh. You have a franchise that the ownership doesn't care about.
Well, they better start caring if they're going to move this thing to Las Vegas and expect people to show up.
I mean, they got great players on that team, man.
They do. I mean, they're a fun ball club to watch.
Beat the Braves yesterday 10-1.
Yeah, they scored all their runs in like the first 2 innings.
Pretty nuts. One word, Royals win yesterday.
Yay!
Great. Keep doing it.
Heck yeah.
Keep winning.
Keep losing teams losing.
Yes. I don't care. You got swept by the A's. That team that you just heard the audio of. They're not a good team. They have good players. They're not a good team. Pittsburgh, keep beating them.
And inside the park home run, they go in. It's an exciting way to start the game.
I mean, it is pretty exciting. Remember when Alcides Escobar did it?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was going nuts.
But I think
that
it was
a little
I
serious.
know, but even still, that's an inside the park home run to start the game. And the announcer's like, well, that's an exciting way to start the game. How about getting into the call? Like, that's the problem with baseball. They're announcers. This is the conduit.
It's bad.
That was awful.
I tried to find a different call. I really did.
You did?
No, I did because I hated the call.
I mean, it's terrible. It's an awful call. Just a terrible call.
I feel bad doing that, but it didn't give excitement or energy.
No, not to the way it should have been.
Well, she's the same one that called Dippin' Dots something else that I can't say on the air.
Oh, you'll have to tell me off the air. I haven't heard that story.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
It rhymes with chicken dots. Coming up on the other side, we get into another guy that's going to get recalled. Oh, wait. Never mind. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending, they have changed our lives. They have helped us out so many times by getting us these great low rates on our mortgage, but more importantly, giving us that financial freedom that we need. Look, everybody runs into it, right? Whether it's home repairs or you need a new car, you got a wedding to pay for, college tuition, credit card bills, whatever it is, you're always trying to figure out a way to get out of debt and save some money. And Golden Oak Lending can help you with that. But you've got to take their free mortgage checkup. We do these about twice a year just to find out where we are with our mortgage. If there's something better out there, Golden Oak Lending lets us know. And if we're in a good spot and they go, we don't have anything better right now, stay around for 6 months. We'll see if we have something better then. They'll let us know that as well. That's the beauty of Golden Oak Lending. They're all about the customer. They're not trying to get you a mortgage. They're trying to do what's best for you. And if they've got a great low rate that's better than what you're currently in, they're going to present that to you and let you know all about it. The average cash out customer with Golden Oak Lending is saving $1,104 per month. And when you refinance with Golden Oak Lending, you can skip 2 months of a mortgage payment. So think of it this way. You don't have to pay a mortgage payment until, it's kickoff of the football season. So call them today at 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD and take that free mortgage checkup. Or you can visit them at goldenoaklending.com. But the conversation is best. No paperwork, no credit card required. It is all risk-free. 913-890-GOLD. And let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Gear up, race fans. Sioux Cup IndyCar Race Weekend is roaring into Iowa Speedway July 11th to the 13th, featuring the only NTT IndyCar Series doubleheader weekend on the 2025 schedule. Sioux Cup IndyCar Race Weekend has become one of the most anticipated and action-packed events in racing. Tickets are going fast. Score yours today and get ready to feel the rush at the fastest short track on the planet. Visit IndyCar@Iowa.com for tickets. Sioux Cup IndyCar Race Weekend at Iowa Speedway, the ultimate summer racing event.
Guys, stop living with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at the Low T Center. Take the test, you can get fast results, and start TRT with Kansas City's leading experts in men's health. It's now easier with the Synergen X Health app, a superior innovation in healthcare technology that you won't find anywhere else. With the app, you can book appointments, view lab results, have face-to-face telehealth visits, and receive medication reminders, order supplements. All you need to do to book an appointment is walk in to any Synergen X or Low T Center before 10 a.m. The test is simple. It only takes 20 minutes to get your results back. And once you qualify, you can start treatment that same day. There's never been a better time to start TRT or Synergen X at the Low T Center, offering the test for free. Other places charge hundreds of dollars just to get started. But for a limited time, the test is free. Download the Synergen X Health app or book an appointment today by visiting fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Granger who does the same. Granger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
The Black Friday and July event from Dell Technologies is here with great offers on trusted technology. You'll also discover huge deals on new AI-ready laptops like the Dell 14 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors starting at $699.99. Save on top accessories, plus enjoy fast, free shipping and other benefits. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
The best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Granger. Granger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Flooded bathroom? AC on the fritz? When things go wrong, you need reliable service fast. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter and take $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. The pros at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to fix the problem. Over 40 years experience, more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee means you can trust Hamilton to bring comfort and calm back to your home. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
It's time to have the best steak of your life. Booth Creek Wagyu. KC's premier Wagyu meat market is changing the way America eats beef. And now you can join the Wagyu revolution at 2 KC locations, 135th and Metcalf and at 95th in Knoll. Whether you're looking to wow your family at a tailgate or sear the best steaks ever on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. You won't regret it. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations. Open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 35 northbound, slow from 75th Street up towards Antioch with an accident blocking the left lane. Heading through the Grandview Triangle, things get heavy 470 westbound, and then 435 westbound stays sluggish to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Time right back into it here on Fescoe and Dusty. Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, Dusty Leggins with you here on 96.5 The Fan. So the audio, you got to hear about Dippin' Dots, huh? Yeah, it's. I sent it to you, Mac. You can listen to it. So something kind of big happened yesterday when it comes to Jackson County. It wasn't a stadium deal, but you can go ahead and throw it in that it's going to pass now. So there was like a petition to get Frank White recalled.
Right.
And if they got enough signatures, they would go to a vote. That's how a democracy works, I believe. I
guess. Yeah.
Because I remember, I forget what we voted for last time in Lee Summit. Because I always vote at the library, and there was a lady outside, and she's like, hey, do you want to sign this? And, whatever, to get Frank White recalled for a vote. And I said, man, I would, but I'm not going to for reasons of my own. But I support what you're doing. So it is going to come to a vote.
August 25th is the vote.
For Jackson County people to get out.
To recall Frank White.
August 25th.
Do you think he gets recalled and he gets fired by the county? I would imagine.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if this is within 40%.
Oh, it's going to be that big. You think?
I think we're looking at
you're messing with people's money.
I think you're looking at like a 70-30.
Yeah.
Like a 70-30. I've never seen anyone more scrutinized, talked about, see his face, and it's like, oh, get it off my screen.
Right.
Than Frank White in Jackson County.
Had he increased everybody's property tax, but then supported the stadiums for Chiefs and Royals in that past, I bet people have a different impression of Frank White than the way they are. But he was so despondent of fighting the Chiefs and the Royals and holding a grudge over the years or whatever it is. And now we're at this situation where you had a great legacy in this town, Frank. And now your legacy is a zero. And that's really a shame. At one point, people considered you the second greatest Royal in the history of this franchise. No more.
He played for the Royals?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think his statue should be thrown in the Missouri River when they move. And they should unretire his number. I really do. I mean,
put a Surfside label up there.
Yeah, cover that thing up. And because he has ruined his legacy, in this town with the stadium stuff.
Would you love it more if they put a Surfside label? That's the Sun Stripes, or would you love it if it was just zero troubles?
I would love it if it was like the no smoking sign, with the circle and the X through it.
Or just they took the 2 down and they just put a 0 underneath it. It just says troubles instead of white.
Yeah.
There you go, Surfside. Thank me later.
I do like that. But they have to unretire his number, and they cannot have a statue of him at the new ballpark. He's not one of the greats in franchise history anymore. He's just not. And so I think those decisions need to be made when they move to 119th and Null, is that, we can't have this guy who basically tried to not get us a new stadium and force us to move across state lines. I mean, you just can't.
So I love this text from the 816. You can take the rest of the week off. They said, put it this way. I can't remember the name of any other Jackson County executive I have never heard more than Frank White has been in office.
Yeah, right.
I don't
Catherine
know.
Shields is the last one I can remember. I think she was the county executive years ago when the first stadium vote went through, and she goes, "There's nothing better than winning." And so, that's the last. But I don't remember who was before Frank. Nor do I care.
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't know.
You shouldn't know.
Right.
Yeah, right. These are people you really shouldn't know. They should just do their job and not mess with people.
From the 816, they're saying that Frank White can veto this.
Of course he can. Sure.
And then somebody for the 816 as well. So we're getting all the Jackson County. But stand up, baby.
Yeah.
Come on. This is my time. They said it should be 99-1 with the 1% being his family.
His family. I don't even know. At this point in time, the vote should be on August 25th. Will you impeach Frank White and pass a 1/4-cent sales tax? So you have to. It's one question combining both of them. So if you want to get rid of Frank White, you have to pass the stadium tax. And if you want the stadium tax passed at 1/4%, then you've got to get rid of Frank
That's great.
White.
I love it.
Just combine the two on the ballot and call it a day.
Is there a recall of a player in Kansas City sports history that you have?
Well, I was thinking about players, but I'm also thinking more along the lines of, front office people, coaches and whatnot. And really at the end of the day, it comes down to Todd Haley for me. Yeah.
As soon as he went out that, I knew it.
Yeah, because I was thinking there's been certain players over the years that you just don't like and aren't very good and whatnot. But Todd Haley really had a negative impact on this organization. I really do believe. Look, Scott Pioli made the wrong hire. He wanted Shanahan. That didn't end up happening. And so you were stuck in between a rock and a hard place. And so Todd Haley was there. He worked with him at the Jets. It was a bad hire by Scott Pioli, as we know at the time. But Todd Haley didn't do things to make things better, and it just turned into a sandbox fight between two children, and Matt Castle was caught in the middle of all of that. So to me, Todd Haley he never should have been hired as the coach. And, I think if you ask Scott Pioli this to this day, he'd probably say, yeah, I effed that one up big time.
Hunter Dickinson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, wow.
Get him out of here.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That is a good
Frank
one.
Haith.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Remember when they had the Faith and Haith?
We had a sign on here.
Is it still out here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The mayor is.
Yeah, he is.
Still hanging around. No, mine is Juan Gonzalez. I don't want that guy to be affiliated with the Royals on a Royals baseball reference page. F that guy.
Yeah.
ruined my heart.
I remember, after the 03 season, we were 83 and 79. Everybody's excited. Moving into the 04 season, you signed Juan Gonzalez and Benito Santiago. And then 17 pieces of Louis Vuitton luggage arrived in front of Juan Gonzalez's locker at spring training, and he never did. And then was by like May 15th, he was done for the year.
Somebody says Marcus Peters from the 816.
Good football player.
Yeah, I really liked watching him play. Is the only
Bad
thing.
attitude. Where are you going,
terrible
Marcus?
attitude.
Home.
Yeah, terrible attitude. His attitude sucked more than anybody's.
Yeah, it's what kept him from being as good as he
great.
could have been.
Yep.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right
yeah,
about
he
that.
had all the talent, man.
He's
all
already
the
out of the
intangibles.
league.
Yep.
I mean, it's been that long.
Oh, he was
but-
barbecue chicken for sure
Yeah,
at the end of his career.
I mean, but seriously, dude, like his attitude, and that's a good life advice for everybody. If you have that kind of attitude, you ain't going to succeed in life, man.
Yeah,
No
when
matter how good you are.
When an owner calls a 1v1 meeting, says sit down. you better have some Zillow searches quickly.
Yeah. Who's yours, Mac?
I'd go Brody Croyle. Just because that's right when I was growing up, he bought our house. I'm sure it
didn't he
wasn't.
buy somebody's house?
Sure,
Yeah.
it wasn't his only house, but it was just something that he wanted to go hunt in because it was out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, man, I mean, 0-10, yeah, sucked. Kind of ruined my hope for sports as early on as a kid.
You had a hunting cabin when you were a kid?
We had a house that was. I can't remember where it was exactly. It was Orchard Lane, but it was out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
Like,
on
out in the
land.
middle of nowhere, like where?
Kansas. I don't know. I'd have to ask my
Like
mom.
not in the Kansas City metro?
No. Not in the Kansas City metro, I don't think.
Like geographically, like is it how many degrees north?
Well, I'm trying to think of where this house was that Brody Croyle was going out to. Was it in Leawood or was it out in Miami County? You know, out in the middle
I'd
of
have
the field.
I'd have to ask. I'll ask my mom.
Was this
I'll
like
get
a
some more info.
like nobody
He doesn't
around?
know.
Was this guy going out there to hunt? Was he like what
I'm
was
sure,
he doing
I'm
out
sure
there?
it was
that
to hunt and to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine he was
That
a big
kinda
hunter,
cabin.
big fish.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a house. It wasn't a cabin. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just a one street. We had 10 houses on our street, and it was a bunch of land, and that was pretty much it. So so I was just like, sweet quarterback, Chiefs, let's go. It's awesome, Alabama. 0-10.
Yeah, he was not very good. But
Yeah.
again, I mean, circumstance with him.
Of
Who was the
course.
coach?
Of
Was it
course.
Haley?
I
Wasn't
think it was
Romeo?
Haley, yeah.
And all those
Yeah, and then
guys.
Romeo for sure.
It was just, none of those guys stood an opportunity. And really credit, the Hunt family for bailing on that thing finally and pulling the ripcord on that and not letting that thing fester, man. And going out, just we're going to get Andy Reid in here. We're going to hire an adult and figure things out.
Speaking of fester, they'll be here in about 3 minutes. Coming up on the other side, we dive into what that Royals game meant last night and how it was good for Cags and a quote that he dropped that we still don't understand the meaning of. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Ring the bell. We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875% fixed. While other lenders are talking about high interest rates, we're dropping rates. And we can get it done for you in as little as 14 days. Golden Oak Lending has just secured several $1 million that we can offer you as fixed-rate mortgages for 4.875%. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. It's fast and easy. Our debt consolidation customers save an average of $1,104 every month. And at Golden Oak, you never pay for your appraisal up front. Lock in this incredible 4.875% rate now before it's too late and say goodbye to those high-interest credit card rates. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
98 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of Kansas City has been repairing and replacing garage doors. Locally owned and operated since 1927. Headquartered in Olathe. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. For same-day repair service 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Granger who does the same. Granger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Royals coverage sponsored by the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull on July 19th. The Outlaws are coming. Get ready for the electrifying Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, Saturday, July 19th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Tickets starting at $20 at the gate. Check out Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Peters Clothiers, Kansas sign 35 northbound. Very heavy from the merge with 69 highway up past Johnson Drive with an accident blocking the left lane. This week only, go to Peters Clothiers to get half-off suits by Jack Henry. Choose from many colors and sizes. Peters Clothiers, 124th and State Line. This week only, Jack Henry suits are half off. Come in today only at Peters Clothiers. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
College days are back on the drive. Listen for MIZ Day on Wednesday, July 16th, starting at 2 o'clock on 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Top of the hour to you. Top of the morning to you, Maloney.
There's no way he's up.
Oh, well. He does let us know that he's catching up late.
Yeah,
sometimes.
like last night,
he
we got he's watching the show at 9:30 last night.
Mm-hmm. That's what
Must
you
have
can
been
do.
a
Just
rough
go to the
day
YouTube.
playing bar on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
right?
tell him, Mac, where they can find us.
Yeah, just go to the YouTube, man. You can find the whole show. You can go to any spot you want, or you go to the Odyssey app. I list every segment that we do, so you can say, I want to hear some Chiefs talk. Oh, where did they talk Royals? They talk about Kagleion's awesome home run or awesome clutch hit. We talked about it all. Find it.
No doubt. And then you can participate in the...
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yep.
We asked on the Fescoe and Dusty poll question on X today, we said, who's the fifth best quarterback in the NFL? We agree that the top four are Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Lamar, any order you want to put them in other than one. And then who's fifth? Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford. Right now, it's getting closer and closer as the day goes on. We've got 120 votes in. Jalen Hurts at 40%, Jaden Daniels at 32.5%, Matthew Stafford 18.3%, and Justin Herbert, oh boy, 9.2%.
Wow, good.
So Carrington's voted.
Yes, he has.
That's good. Yeah.
Locked, cocked, and ready to rock.
So we'll get back into that a little bit later as well. We're gonna explain, I promise, why
Carrington voted as an all-timer, dude. I love it. It's so good. Speaking of an all-timer, let me just real quick. You showed me the uniforms. You know I'm a uniform guy.
Yeah, Washington?
Washington's going back to the Redskin uniforms. They're
It's
not going
sick.
back to the name, but
Yeah.
they have unveiled
They might
the
as well.
Redskins
Yeah.
uniforms from the 80s and 90s and today. And the only thing that's not Redskin on it is the logo, which has still got which is a terrible name and a terrible logo. They need to find something better. But those uniforms are money, dude.
Yeah, that was that's a clean look, and the Chiefs could definitely do something similar to that. But again,
What could they do though? Because they haven't changed their uniforms ever.
Man, it'd look really cool if they had black jerseys, man.
I disagree with
That's
that.
always like the number one thing is they want that.
Yes.
You always used to see them in the mall. Be like the yellow with the red numbers.
Yeah.
It'd
Yeah.
be like the black with the red numbers, and it's like I'll do the road alternate.
Oh, dude, and you know, because they're moving back into Washington D.C. I'm getting goosebumps looking at this because their fight song is "Fight for Old D.C." Like that's how it ends, right? And they have a picture of the old stadium, 3 players in the old uniform standing, and the caption is "Fit for Old D.C."
Old DC.
Give me a cigarette, bro.
no.
Seriously, I'm to that level with that. That's awesome.
They did everything but say they're getting ready to change their name.
I love it. It's so, oh my God, the uniforms are so good.
It's like, wait, so you and your wife are divorced? Yep. But you live together? Yep. And you're not paying child support? Yep. And the kids still live there? Yep. So you're getting back together? Nope. Okay. Easy.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I bet you do. So last night, some big moments in the game, this one being one of them.
1-1 pitch. Kagleion hits a drive out into the gap in right center field. That's in the alley and gone. Kagleion's first home run at Kauffman Stadium. Kind of a sinking line drive.
Kind of.
And it went out of the shadows
around home plate
and over the wall and brightly lit by the sun, right center field.
Okay, with the Royal across the chest. But, of course, obviously the biggest hit last night was...
Here's the 1-0 pitch from the right-hander. Lined into left center field, and it's down. And here comes Garcia with the winner. Nick Loftin, who hit the 2-run home run in the 7th. He singles into left center field to win the game.
So there was the game-winning hit, and it was all set up by what I believe, which we heard the Kagleion home run, but that Kagleion fly out to right, to me, was his best at bat he's had in months. And I know that he hit 2 home runs in Texas. I know he hit that home run last night. I think it was 114 off the bat. Just the definition last night of a piss missile there. Mm-hmm. But the way that he set the Royals up, because I know that double play crushed him when he swung at the first pitch against the Dodgers on Friday night with the crowd being big. Double play, first pitch, game over. Yeah. And that's tough to do. And, of course, last night they go up to Kags to interview him about the play, and this is what he said.
My whole plan going into that AB was just to get a ball in the air. I wanted to move my tail over. Everybody out here, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub with this time of year, Yes.
That was the worst possible execution.
I know.
That is a geeky
laugh. I was trying to do it. I know.
To be man, just trying to grind it out.
That was unbelievable.
That was so bad. I respect that.
Who's in the background?
That's got to be Vinny.
Right about that.
That's got to be Vinny in the background, because Vinny's locker room was right next to him, which I'm glad that you bring that up, because Tuesday or Monday night, I was out there at the game when they had the big victory, all the home runs and everything, and Jack didn't do anything. And he was distraught. He was down. He was down bad, man. He was sitting in his chair, towel on his back, looking at his phone, not doing anything. And Vinny's post-game interview that we recorded was great. Everybody's happy. They're listening to music. Everybody's fun. That last night, the home run's great. It's the first home run at home, whatever. Him explaining that when he went up to the plate, just trying to get a guy over, trying to get the runner in scoring position, it might hurt your batting average. It's really low right now. I don't care. It's going to add a win to the win column. And right now, we've got to keep winning. We lost our lead in the 8th inning with one of our, hoses on the mound in Ursig, who couldn't find the strike zone if he had it right in front of his face. I'll give him a pass. That's one time.
Hey, look, man, relievers are going to make mistakes.
And
it happens.
He set up Michael Garcia knowing that if he got it deep enough, he could tag from second, and knowing that Nick Loftin had been seeing the ball like a beach ball at the plate the last 2 nights. And game, respect game, man. You got guys set up. You let the guy behind you. That's humbling. That's knowledgeable, and that's smart. And that's a 22-year-old kid that did that. So again, I know he's struggling still, and we want to see the numbers change. But a home run and a key at bat to get your team set up for a win, and you won. You won a series, and now you can go for the sweep.
It was a big moment for him last night. It has nothing to do with the on-the-field stuff. He became a Major League Baseball player, in my opinion, last night. That's number one goal is to win games, and that's what he said after the game. And, I go back to Moose getting a bunt, down, and everybody going, Moose has finally figured out what team baseball is all about. And that was in 14, right? And finally, all those things kind of connected. And it's awesome when you can be a baseball player and not have your agent on your back telling you everything that you need to be doing to make yourself a better individual player. And you're going out there and you're being the best teammate that you can possibly be. And that's the win from last night's game. You beat Pittsburgh. They're a losing team. You keep a losing team losing. You're taking care of business. Great. But we saw last night, Jack Kagleion emerge as a Major League Baseball player last night. And for all of those who want to send him down, as we said yesterday, that's a bad decision. He's not going to get better going down to the minor leagues and facing some rum-dums, right? You're going to get better by failing and learning from your mistakes and getting better from your failures at the big league level. And we saw him last night just with that quote alone, not the bathtub stuff, but the stuff before that. I just wanted to get Michael over. That's a great attitude. That is a great approach. And that's how you know he's a winning baseball player, and he's focused on the team and he's not focused on his own numbers, because he could have swung out of his shoes and tried to win the game there and be the conquering hero. But you know what? You didn't need to do that. You just needed to move your guy over because Nick Loftin is coming up, and he'd been hot over the last couple of games. And so that's keeping the line moving, understanding how to be a big league baseball player, and understanding what it takes to win at this level. But more importantly, being a team guy. Jack Kagleion showed us last night he's all about the team and not about his individual numbers. I'm sure his agent's pissed this morning, and good.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
I don't know what that means.
I can tell you. The phrase trying to put sweat in the bathtub is not a standard or literal expression. It likely refers to a misunderstanding of a humorous way to describing the process of taking a bath, potentially after physical activity or exertion. Sweat is a natural bodily fluid produced during exercise or when the body temperature rises. Baths are often used for relaxation and hygiene purposes.
Okay. Is that AI? Okay.
But yeah, it likely refers to the misunderstanding or a humorous way of describing the process of taking a bath, potentially after a physical activity. So there you go. Put it on a shirt, sell it.
So Cody's already done that. So you're trying to put sweat in the bathtub, meaning like you sweated all day, you worked your ass off, then you got in the bathtub. And so he's trying to say, I just worked my ass off. I'm trying to, okay.
Because you know you're getting ready to take a relaxing bath. But the only
When was the last time you bathed?
Oh, God, never.
I mean, honestly, when was the last? I know.
I had literally I don't know what I've done more recently. Had a bath or had KFC.
KFC.
Oh, that's a good question, Dusty.
I don't really know.
I'm going to go bath.
It's not a shot at KFC.
No,
I don't know the last. I mean, I live right by one, and I'm never there.
Their coleslaw is really good, and that spork thing is phenomenal.
I mean, their mashed potatoes and gravy are nuts. Their mac and cheese is fake, but I love it.
I'm trying to think the last time. I mean, we have one bathtub now at the house because when we did the bathroom, we ripped the tub out because we weren't using it, you know? And so
it's just kind of gross to take a bath.
Well, it's a pool of your own filth. You know, it's a tepid pool of your own filth that you're floating. You sit in the bathroom, you see the film just form around you and whatnot. I think the last
what they say is you're supposed to like shower first, then you fill, and then you let it go, then you drink, then you fill the bath, and then you relax and soak. Not in the one way that you soak.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's the
Utah way of soaking? Or,
no. That's no fun.
Well, depends who you talk to. Yeah, the bathtub thing, man. Like, I mean, I remember vividly taking a bath years and years ago and watching Oprah, but I don't remember since then. And that's when we were living in St. Louis. We had like one of those jet tubs. I'm like, what the hell, right?
My name is Richie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah. My name is number 2.
That was before my child was born, and she's 15, almost 16 in December. I honest to God, don't know. Jen, have we ever taken a bath together in the new house? But honest to God, I don't know. I mean, the last time I took a bath or KFC, I would think I would nod to KFC before the bath.
You, man, I don't know why that went in my head, but, you know.
I know it's KFC. It was over a year ago for that, almost 2 years for KFC. I remember because the aftermath was not fun.
Don't ever disrespect baths again because your grimy ass is.
Oh, God. Okay. Is that really come in on the text line?
Why would I lie to you?
I mean,
does sitting down in the shower count as a bath? Asking for a friend. No, I do that once a month.
So sad.
That's awesome, dude. That's where the shower beer comes into play.
Sitting down? Just getting the shower water?
I tilt the shower head down to where it's down on, the privates, and I just sit there, lean back, cold drink.
Okay, I get that.
That way I'm not getting sprayed in the face.
Yeah.
I'm just soaking it up, man. Try it out. Feels good.
I'm mowing the lawn today, so shower beer doesn't sound too bad.
Tell you what. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into the greatest Mahomes analysis ever.
Oh, it's so good. I can't wait to play it.
There you go. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, guys, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball is continuing to roll on. The weather is getting nicer, and this season we're bringing you the proud partner of your Kansas City Royals, Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, Surfside Lemonade Vodka. They're absolutely delicious and pair perfectly with a day at the K or on that patio. Find it in Kauffman Stadium all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. So it's easy to sip and enjoy while you're at the game. Ask for it at your local bars and liquor stores. You must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are one click away from your best summer ever.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman. Only in theaters July 11th. DQ. Happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 35 northbound slows at 87th Street and stays off again on again slow up past Shawnee Mission Parkway. The earlier accident there looks to have been pushed off to the shoulder. 70 westbound heading out of downtown on the Missouri side. Things get slow at the Paseo. Stay heavy over to 18th Street. Construction has you down to one lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Got to skedaddle out of here today. It's getting hot. Got to mow the lawn.
Yeah, we do. I got a 10:30 appointment with the kiddos I told you about. Got to get them new passports. They got to have both parents present. Otherwise, they don't do it.
Okay.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What if
so,
your
Mac,
mom's-
was your mom there when you got yours recently?
So I got it wrong. I
Damn
guess
you.
you take the bath and then you shower.
And then you skedaddle.
Yeah.
You take the bath and then you shower. Tammy from the Weston takes a bath every day because she doesn't want to get her hair wet.
God bless her.
And I said, Tammy, you got a whole slew, a cabinet of free shower caps at the Weston. Just take them.
Yeah, just do that.
Hair gets frizzy, can't do it.
I'd be the first one to buy that soap. Either way, there's Mahomes analysis, and you said it's great, and you're ready to play it.
Yeah, let's play this analysis because this is finally somebody who has a brain, unlike that guy Acho that we talked about yesterday.
Do you know what the word standard means?
I do.
Okay.
Harry, Patrick Mahomes did not have a huge statistical season by any measure, all right? But the Chiefs still went 15-2 and went and lost in the Super Bowl. But what am I supposed to make of the last couple years, especially statistically? I mean, nothing huge.
Hurt
Not
your
that
fantasy team,
impressive.
didn't he, nerd?
26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year. 27 touchdowns, 14 the year before. And I mean, this was a quarterback who would never throw interceptions his first few years in the league as a starter. What am I supposed to make of that?
Well, I would say this about Patrick Mahomes. Now, we also have to look at who he's throwing the football to, right? Because it's not like he has the cream of the crop. Patrick Mahomes is still the standard of the National Football League, y'all. It doesn't matter. Have you noticed we never make excuses for Patrick Mahomes? Because he just finds a way to get it done. And it doesn't matter who he's out there with.
Beautiful analysis by Harry Douglas. Can we build him a statue outside of Arrowhead, please? And I'm being serious about that. That was probably the best analysis that any blowhard, gas bag, and whatever else Ben calls us,
I feel attacked.
Has said about Patrick Mahomes over the last 7 months or 6 months since they lost the Super Bowl, right? That was nails as to what he said. I believe Harry Douglas played in the NFL. I don't know who his nerd co-host was, but he really felt like Patrick Mahomes let him down on his fantasy team. What am I supposed to feel about that? Guy wins games, and then Harry Douglas comes out and says, okay, let's talk about who he throws to. And that's something that we talk about here, right? We've talked about that in Kansas City. But nationally, nobody talks about Kadropius Tony and whoever else he's had. MVS, Sky Moore, Hardman at times. Like
no wide receiver 1 or 2 in the previous year.
Exactly. And I'm
Rookie
so
wide
glad.
receiver coming in the year league.
Yeah, exactly. Rookie wide receiver becoming your number one target 2 years ago to win the Super Bowl. And so that's a great point there. He's still the standard, y'all, in the NFL. I love the fact that he said that. And then he goes, and this is a guy, he's right. We don't make excuses for Patrick Mahomes. We make excuses for Josh Allen. We make excuses for Joe Burrow. We make excuses for Lamar Jackson. We made excuses for Jalen Hurts. Not one time has anybody that I can recall, and maybe I'm wrong, has anybody sat there and made an excuse for why Patrick Mahomes didn't win a game and make an excuse for Patrick Mahomes? We've never done anything like that at all because all he does is win, and he wins when it matters most. But all these other quarterbacks, well, Josh Allen, he's got a bad running game, or Joe Burrow's got a fur coat and a Batmobile. Like, there's all these excuses that we make for all of these other guys. But when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, if he loses, nobody makes excuses for Patrick Mahomes because usually he doesn't lose. He finds ways to win.
I just don't care anymore. Is that a lazy radio take? Like, I just don't care. Someone's like, yeah, Mahomes is like the 4th best quarterback in football. I'm like, okay.
Fine. If you
That's
think
fine.
that,
Like,
go for it. You're wrong.
I've seen 3 Super Bowl victories. I've seen 5 Super Bowls. I've seen the guy get only 2. I mean, like,
yeah, right.
It's like
you run out of things to say.
The list of like trying to explain it, and then you hear people, come up with their excuses. Like, yeah, well, it's 2 Super Bowl losses. They were blowouts. And then you go back to those people who are like, well, what I've been told is that quarterbacks, wins are not a quarterback stat. Our loss is a quarterback stat. Well, in playoffs is when quarterback stats matter. Okay, well, his numbers in last year's Super Bowl, not great. They weren't terrible. I mean, I know he got a lot of junk plays, but if we're going through the whole thing, and then you get to and then it's like every time you
and that's why stats don't matter right there, because Patrick Mahomes did not have a good game. Nobody played good in that Super Bowl.
I think it depends on the narrative, what you're trying to describe when it comes to the stat. But what I think is crazy about having to defend Patrick Mahomes is it's a hogwash conversation of an argument, because it's, saying that you're the best employee, and then they'll say like, well, he doesn't bring a backpack to work. Okay. He brings a briefcase. Who's bringing a briefcase to work? Well, he's still here all the time, on time, has all his work prepped out. Yeah, but he comes in at, he gets to leave at 10 o'clock in the morning. He can't help his schedule. That's just where his time slot, it's stuff like that. And so when people want to have that conversation of, this guy's better, Joe Burrow had a better statistical year last year. Did he make the playoffs? No. Okay, well, look at Patrick Mahomes after that Buffalo, or right before, starting at the Buffalo game, going the rest of the year. They played that game, last year, in week 6? And then all of a sudden you go after that game and he had one turnover, but we don't want to talk about it. Well, he didn't play a full season because the team was 15-1 and going into the last week of the season, had everything locked up. He's been the 1 or the 2 seed every single year in the playoffs. He's had the AFC Championship game go through his house every year he's been a starter except one. Mm-hmm. And Tom Brady was still in the league.
Right, yeah.
So it's where do you want me to keep defending this? And quite frankly, I don't need to anymore. It's I don't need to defend that Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball hitter I've ever seen in my life. I watched a man get walked with the bases loaded.
Oh, God, yes.
I watched a guy hit egregious amounts of home runs. Well, he did steroids. Fine.
It's almost like the
Lawrence
national
Taylor
media
was high on cocaine and was just ripping people's legs out of the socket.
That's the least he was on.
So it's we could have Doc Ellis threw a perfect game. He's high on acid.
Yeah.
I'd throw strikes too if the glove was the size of the state of Texas and the bat was a cobra.
I mean, could you
That's
imagine
how he describes his moments.
Yeah, right. But could you imagine pitching a big league game high on LSD?
I've only done this show once on acid. It was great.
It was fantastic. I remember that day. Yeah, it was huge. But I think with the Mahomes thing, it's everybody's just waiting.
I just don't care anymore.
I don't know what it is. It's they're rooting for him to fail. They're rooting for him to not be good anymore. And you know what? All of that rooting and all that pining for Patrick Mahomes to fall off is not working. It's actually fueling his fire. And he's only going to get better. And he's only going to play better because of this. You don't think this offseason for Patrick Mahomes, he busted his ass all offseason along with his wide receivers and Travis Kelce and all these guys to get ready for this season because of that bad taste that was left in their mouth? I couldn't even tell you the score of the Super Bowl, okay? That's where I am on that Super Bowl. That is so far a distant memory for me, but I'm not wearing number 15, okay? I'm not that guy, and he's that guy who will use that as motivation. And everything that nitwits say in the offseason about him, and there's been a lot recently about Patrick Mahomes, he's going to use that as fuel for the fire to go out there and continue to prove everybody wrong. It's this guy has accomplished so much, and I feel like he still has to go out there and prove doubters wrong.
I don't think that's why he said in that interview with KI, he said, let's just play football.
Let's have fun.
And I mean, anybody that says that he's not the standard,
that guy's an idiot, man.
Yeah, they're just bored. They're just trying to come up with something, man. That's what it is at this point.
And
People
that's
are bored.
fine.
They want discussion.
And that's fine. Have that discussion about Burrow and Lamar.
Yeah.
Or
talk
Burrow
about the other
and Allen.
quarterbacks.
Because that's where it makes sense. Those guys all have what Patrick Mahomes has, those guys don't have in common. And it's not talent. It's the track record of winning.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen all have one thing in common. One, they can't beat Jordan. And two, they're all MVPs. Burrow's going to get his this year. I promise you.
You call it now, right? What are the odds on him to win?
I'd have to look it up on DraftKings.
As long as he doesn't fall on his face, he probably will get it because it is his turn.
And which
is so stupid.
And I think that's where you can have, if you're late, if you're tired and you're pining for football conversations, then go have that conversation. Or have the conversation we had in our weekly poll question. Who's the 5th best quarterback in football?
Well,
I'm giving you 4 of the top 5. I don't know who the 5th is.
Every conversation about quarterbacks in this league should all start out. We all know Mahomes is the standard. But if you got to win a game, do you want Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson as your quarterback? Because that's a debate. That is a real debate to have. Who do you want in a big game situation? Because really neither quarterback has proven they can win the big game situation. So who you taking in that situation?
Right. Joe Burrow, 3rd best odds to win MVP. Lamar Jackson at plus 550, tied with Josh Allen. Joe Burrow at plus 650. Patrick Mahomes at plus 700. Mm-hmm. You want to know what Chris Jones is for Defensive Player of the Year?
2,100.
Is that what it was? According to DraftKings, he is plus 6,000.
Okay. You want to talk about odds. Andy Reid has better odds to be the first coach fired than he does to win Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah, he has the 2nd worst odds to win Coach of the Year.
8,000 to 1 or something like
it's
that.
9,000. It's plus 9,000.
Plus 9,000. He's got plus 5,000 to be the first coach fired.
Yep. Do you know who the favorite is to win Coach of the Year?
Let me guess.
Yeah.
What jackass hasn't coached before? Dick Bramer up there in Chicago.
I really love that you said this. It's your boy, Mike Vrabel.
Oh, Vrabel's the leader?
Oh, really? He is on FanDuel.
Wow.
On FanDuel, it is. What was his name?
Ben Johnson.
Dick Bramer.
That's a Dick Bramer. Yeah.
Chicago's coach.
Yeah. Ben Johnson. Yeah, and then Mike Vrabel. Yeah.
Yeah. DraftKings has Mike Vrabel plus 600, Ben Johnson plus 700. They have Liam Cohen, Duval.
That's my bet.
At plus 1,400.
That's a great bet.
Nah, dude, I'm taking Pete Carroll at 1,500.
Pete Carroll's a great one plus 1,500.
Bet both
because
those, man.
if that team has any sort of pulse.
Same with Jacksonville.
Nope.
Yeah, but the Raiders are a much bigger brand, much more dominating brand. Pete Carroll's a better human coach.
But where Jacksonville could win
Jacksonville
could win that division, the Raiders won't. That would trump
Fair
over.
point.
And Trevor Lawrence is.
If you figure Trevor Lawrence out,
Trevor
man.
Lawrence is headline city, dude. More than anyone, even more than Ashton Genty. Way more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the two, right?
Pete Carroll's a good bet on that.
Yeah,
but
I like
the fact
those.
that Andy Reid has better odds to be the first coach fired than he does for Coach of the Year is pathetic.
Yeah, that's
like people
asinine.
believe that he has a better shot to get fired than he does to be the Coach of the Year.
Somebody from the 816 says, I figured it beats Stefanski. He hasn't won it in a couple of years.
Right, yeah, well, it's true. It should be Stefan. What are his odds for Coach of the Year this year? It's got to be up there.
Somebody from the 913 says, Josh Allen doesn't need the refs or Taylor Swift to win games. Let's go Bills.
Okay, have you remember the video where the ref literally sat down with Josh Allen, popped a high C fruit punch for him, gave him a slice of orange, and patted him on the jock?
And they said, let me know when.
What games have Josh Allen won? Go Bills, Jimmy Gaffney, right?
Somebody says, let me know when Mahomes wins a Super Bowl that isn't handed to him. Blowhards.
He's come back double digits and all of that.
Don't let the text line get you because you know about the text line, right? What that guy said?
That's great. Go Bills.
What Super Bowl has Josh Allen played? And call me when that happens. That's why that's a good debate.
Dude.
You got a big game to win. You got Burrow, you got Allen, or you got Lamar. Who are you taking to win the big game? Because you could say all three of them have never. Other than Burrow, I mean, he did win here at Arrowhead. But that's it. One game out of the three of them.
The 913 continues. Allen is better, though. He doesn't pay the refs or need Taylor Swift. Mahomes isn't as good as Allen, buddy.
Buddy.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. Yeah, your dad's Patrick Mahomes, brother.
Yep.
Remember when your fans were kids and threw snowballs? Did Patrick Mahomes? Oh, that's right. Patrick Mahomes paid Mother Nature to have it snow so the Bills would have a chance. Still didn't work.
What does that cost? Because I would pay Mother Nature to rain like once a day, like for 2 hours.
It costs two lips in my ass cheek to kiss it.
Okay.
How about Asante Samuel, baby? You want to hear what he had to say about the Dolphins? Because that's funny. Hey, how's your division over there, Bills fan? How's your division? You got the Dolphins, the Jets, and New England? Yeah.
Dolphins had no reason to trade Jalen Ramsey other than they're sensitive. There's no leadership in the Dolphins organization. Mike McDaniels is a pushover. Chris Greer, the general manager, he has no backbone. These guys over here at the Miami Dolphins, they are running this team like a little league team. No one can stand up to the players. They're terrified of their own players, and they have no control over their players.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, that is great scorched earth coming from a former player. And it was funny a couple of years ago when they first hired Mike McDaniels down there in Miami, we had the conversation like, this will be good until they don't win. We're seeing it happen right before our eyes.
Not only that, but I mean, eventually you have to beat good teams. We talk about this with the Royals. Like, oh, yeah, they're beating Pittsburgh. I don't want to hear that. They just need to win right now. But eventually, you can't go out there this weekend and get your ass kicked by the Mets.
Yeah.
Right? You got to go out against the Mets and win 2 out of 3 because you have your backs against the wall. In the division. You're now 3 games under 500. But, again, I brought this up to you guys yesterday in post-production meeting. Like, you know, could the Dolphins finish last in the AFC East?
Hell yes, they can.
And is that more embarrassing than finish last in the AFC South?
No.
Because you would lose. That means the Jets would have a better record than you?
Fair point. Yes, it does.
Okay.
You're right. Yep.
And the Jets quarterback is?
Justin Fields. I think the Jets are not going to be nearly as bad as people think.
Okay, because you're trusting Aaron Glenn.
You're trusting Aaron Glenn.
They weren't that bad last year.
They were 4-13.
Yeah, but they were in like 4 of those games. Rodgers lost those games. I imagine the defense will be better, and Justin Fields isn't as bad as we'd like to. He's the 3rd best running quarterback in the league.
Okay.
Yeah, Justin Fields has gotten a bad rap.
He's got a really bad rap. That's all I'll say.
He has.
And he's
But
got
now
Garrett
this is his
Wilson,
third
Brees
team,
Hall. We
and-
like there's things. They could win 6 games, 7 games.
Yeah, and that means the Dolphins would win 5.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Just terrible. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's bad. No, it's
Yeah.
fair.
No,
So-
I mean, like if you finish worse than the Jets this year, that's
I mean, the
pathetic.
2 laughing stocks in the NFL are the Jets and the Browns. Am I wrong? I mean, I know we love Dallas, but Dallas still gets to the playoffs.
Yeah,
they lose, but they still win.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're the worst.
Would you rather be an affiliate of the Browns or the Jets? And you're like, neither.
The Jets.
Titans fans that they would argue they're the most forgotten team in the NFL, but
They did have the number 1 pick, and nobody knows who that is.
Yeah, and they were in a graphic yesterday that listed all 32 quarterbacks. Cam Ward was not on it.
I'd rather be forgotten than laughed at
what?
consistently.
A guy released all quarterbacks who's like in tiers, right? And he made up all these tiers. Cam Ward wasn't on the list. He forgot about Cam Ward.
Who did he have as the quarterback?
He didn't have the. He just had 30.
Well, how do you have 32 quarterbacks and leave out a team?
Exactly, left out a team because no one remembers him.
But that's an interesting one because Jen said to me the other day, she goes, "You see, Warren's allowing Cam Ward to wear his number 1," and I'm like, I do, but it's like it's not the same organization. I think when teams move, they need to leave everything behind, just like the Browns did. Like they left everything behind. Do it that way and just start anew in that city that you moved to, because nobody wants the Tennessee Oilers, and that's why they changed their whole name. But when they rebranded and did all, once you leave a city, you got to leave your colors, you got to leave your records, you got to leave all that behind in case there is a backfill, and that can be the franchise in that city. Because Warren Moon going to Nashville, he's a Houston guy. That's not a Nashville thing.
Dan Orlovsky just got paid.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
ESPN gave him a contract extension. Multi-year.
Someone else just got paid too.
Somebody
Yeah,
thanked
Chet
him for
Holmgren.
all he did. Chet Holmgren got paid.
Heck yeah.
They gave him a leg up.
You know who else got paid? Sal Palantonio, baby. He got paid today, too.
Oh, because Philadelphia won the Super Bowl?
They did. Yep. Sal's got a 2-year extension.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
He had always a good...
So ESPN's writing checks today.
Nice.
Which means that all these people that are 28 to 31 years old will get fired and not get them in a contract, which is why Dan Le Batard left ESPN.
Who are you talking about? Like
all the people? Who are we talking about? All the people they hire that are young and actually talented, they don't pay them because they pay all these guys massive amounts of contracts. That's why Mina Kimes is, I don't think, at ESPN anymore. You can like her or hate her, whatever you want to think. That's why Dan Le Batard's not there anymore, because they are paying like guys like Dan Orlovsky this egregious amount of money. They pay, and Dan's a good guy. Dan deserves to be paid. I'm not saying that.
Dan, we can have our disagreements with Dan, but at the end of the day, that guy does work his ass off, man.
And that guy was, I'm going to be honest with you, that guy was very, very respectful to us at Radio Row. He was very kind. He didn't have to listen to Mac or talk to Mac to get an interview with us. He didn't have to come on with us. And he came over. He shook our hands. He looked us in the eye. He was polite. He gave us a good message. So he is completely a 180 to me in a personality. You do that, I'll change my perspective, because I tell people to do nice things. That dude did a nice thing for a bunch of schmucks in Kansas City.
Yeah, he did.
And he was a professional about it.
And it's amazing how when you have those
Yeah.
interactions with people, how that changes your perception of those folks.
For
You know,
sure.
no matter who it is, right? You have a good interaction with somebody, it changes maybe how you viewed that person. So no, I'm glad for Orlovsky. He does work a lot. He really does. I mean, like, he busted and he works at the craft. A lot of these professional athletes that come into this business do not work at the craft, and they stink at it. And that's why I don't understand. There was an article today on Barrett Sports Media. Can sports radio recruit former athletes? I'm like, I hope they don't. How many really former athletes are really good at this profession? It's not a lot of them.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, like, you look at FS1 and a lot of their guys that they do their shows, like, they're not former athletes. I mean, I know the morning show, I mean, Parkins is an athlete and he's good at his job. Nick wasn't an athlete. We know that. He's good at his job. I mean, Broussard, he's done better. I mean, those guys are, they're fine. Dan Orlovsky, man, you talk about working your ass off.
Seriously.
Sixth season of NFL Live is still going to happen. Headline an extensive studio show presence. Enters 4 seasons as Monday Night Football's analyst for select games, and he's going to have frequent appearances on Get Up, First Take, Pat McAfee, and Sports.
He's on all the time. Like, he's become kind of the new face of ESPN. I think it's cool. Like, good. Go for it. And the cool thing about Dan Orlovsky is nobody knows who Dan Orlovsky is from a football standpoint.
What? He's the guy that ran out of bounds.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you know. He wasn't a big name type of player, but he's worked at this craft. He's gotten better. He's worked at it. He's gotten better. He's worked at it. Most athletes don't do that. that when they're done playing. They're like, I'm done, man. I worked my ass off, and I don't blame them. They just want to come in and talk football. It doesn't work that way.
His handler was by far the nicest person I got to work with throughout the radio. Yeah, Orlovsky's handler, she was super nice.
Well, he's nice too.
He's nice too, exactly. He hires good people. He has good people around him. We'll try to get him on again. Jacksonville. I think he's calling that Jacksonville game, so Monday Night Football.
Hopefully we can have Mr. Orlovsky on. That'd be great. Cut up on the other side. Running. Why is it negative? What else was made negative? We'll do that. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
What am I supposed to make of that?
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can now go yard all baseball season long with Underdog Champions Game. And Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections, and you can now play in the state of Missouri. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Are you going to be next? It is so simple. I love the Underdog app because to play, all you have to do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. And you can choose from things like home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. And playing on Underdog is a can of corn. It's so fun. It's so easy. And I love combining entries from multiple sports into one selection. And then, boom, you can see what happens. And once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. If you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app now and sign up with the promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit with promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See UnderdogFantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Hey there, Royals fans. It's Royals Hall of Famer Mike Sweeney. Have you or your kids experienced a high school coach who wants to make our Kansas City community a better place to live, work, and play? The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation, together with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, are shining a spotlight on 6 impactful coaches in the KC metro area. Nominate a high school coach today at royals.com/coaches with character.
Listening is so important, and that's what Dawn Sharp does. She listens to her clients' needs. Buying or selling a home is stressful, and you want an agent who puts your needs at the top of every single list. And you want to contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Ask them about their instant offer program. You can Google them at Sharp Homes Team, or better yet, pay them a visit at homesforsaleInKC.com and start packing.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Granger. Granger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira-joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
When I wake up,
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
When I wake up,
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
When you're hiring,
Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. Renner Garage Door has proudly served KC for nearly 70 years. Get your free estimate today, RENNER, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland 35 southbound, heavy approaching Vivian, heading out of downtown 70 eastbound. You hit delays at the Paseo, stays pretty heavy at Truman with construction. Belton 49 northbound, recovering past Cass Parkway up towards Missouri 58. Earlier accident at 163rd has cleared. Alan Carr, 96 bound, The Fan. Traffic.
Welcome back into 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Bob Fescoe, McMurray, and some other schmuck here with you on a Wednesday. Coming up in about 12 minutes, Royals manager Matt Cottrero will join the show. Coming off of, quite a few wins in the month of July. They played 8 games.
6-2?
They played, 8 games in July. They're 6-2 in those games. They've scored 9 runs twice, and they're hitting home runs at a rapid rate. So be excited to hear what you have to say about the Nick Loftin couple games. Kags' moment last night. We'll talk about Bobby, Vinny, and Salvi as well, as we'll be with the Royals manager in about 12 minutes here on 96.5 The Fan. Running, why is it negative?
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, and it's bizarre because we had this conversation yesterday in like the post-show meeting, and I was talking about a story of a friend of mine who works in fitness around town, and we were having a conversation about a year ago, and he goes, one of the things we're trying to do with kids now is to get them to not think of running as a punishment. And Mac's like, oh yeah, start like googly-eyed, like when we were kids, running was used as a punishment, right? I mean, if you did something wrong in sports, they made you run. We had a baseball coach, Mr. Wickheiser was the guy's name, a giant of a man, very crass, probably would have not been allowed to coach children if it was 2025 with some of the stuff that he used to say to us at 13 years old. But if you did something wrong, he'd say, go kiss the plug. And it was the fire hydrant probably, I don't know, 500 yards and a hill away. And you had to run up there, touch the fire thing, come back. I mean, it was a jaunt.
Yeah.
And so when you were a kid, or we were kids growing up in our generation, it was like when you did something wrong, they made you run. And running was always associated with something negative, right? And so my friend was telling me about a year ago, he goes, what we're trying to do is get that mindset out. Running's fun. It should be, exercise should be fun. You're moving your body, you're sweating, you're having a good time. For somehow, some way, it got turned into a negative. And then after the show yesterday, I went and had a coffee with Tony Temple, who will join us on Friday, and he's got Temple Made Fitness going on. And he was sitting there and he talking to me, and obviously wasn't our post-show meeting. He goes, we're trying to get kids to understand like running is fun and not a punishment anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, you must have been in our meeting today to have that kind of conversation, because that's exactly what we were talking about like that. Is running still used as a punishment for kids today in sports? Like if you do something wrong, do they still force you to run a mile or run to the fire hydrant and come on back and do all that kind of stuff? Because if they are, they're doing it wrong, because running should not be something that you dread. It should be something that you look forward to because it really makes you feel better when you're done with it.
It was always a punishment in basketball, but I don't want to go back to glory days in high school.
Right.
So I have to tread lightly here.
Emos is opening a location in Kansas City, I saw. Seriously, 100%. They announced a new location. So if the high school emos and all of that.
I love emos.
Me too.
Awful stuff. Worst crap on earth.
I will get their pizza and I will get their toasted raviolis.
And the dessert pizza.
I've never had it.
Oh, brother.
What is
eat
it?
a shoe.
Cinnamon pizza with.
Oh, it's got the streusel.
So it's not original or anything like that.
Oh, that's fine.
Everybody does a cinnamon
great.
streusel crust.
Tastes great.
Godfather's buffet back in the day.
Oh, that's exactly where it was. Remember Mr.
Godfather's-
Gaddy's back in the day, too? We had one in Lawrence. I lived at Mr. Gaddy's.
Somebody says, yes, as a high school coach, it is still a punishment.
But why? Why are we making
Because we
money?
hate it as kids.
I know, but and then we hate it as an adults, and then we're all obese because we don't want to do
don't wanna
anything.
do it.
Because it was beaten into our heads that it's bad, it's negative, it's terrible, it's awful. And then you become an adult, you're like, thank God I don't have to run anymore because it ruined us as kids.
I don't know how many people that listened to this were in my high school at the time that I was there, but we played. He's no longer alive, but our coach's name was Slade Morlang, R.I.P. He was our freshman coach, and this is a true story. We had a small gym and we had the normal gym at Blue Springs High School, and in the small gym, a bunch of us kept farting. Right, this is a true story. I'm not kidding. We kept farting.
Sometimes you run, you fart.
No, we weren't running. We were just standing around, shooting around. And we kept farting. And the coach
Lifting your leg and
Slade Morling was like, "All right, enough. It's not pleasant." And all of a sudden, we're on the baseline, and we're getting ready to hear what drill we're getting ready to do from Coach Morling, and one of our buddies just starts doing the butthead laugh, and he's like, "Seriously? All right." And what he made us do was we had to run backwards with our hands above our heads, and we had to wait until the flag on the wall was waving till we got the air circulated, and that sucked.
Oh, God.
That was terrible. I don't think anybody farted in practice again. That's a true story. R.I.P. to Slade. Oof. But we had to run backwards, hands up, because we kept ripping ass in practice, and we had to wait until the flag was literally moving against the wall.
How long did it take?
Dude, I don't know. It felt like an eternity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because, you don't think about it, but going, and then after that, we had to do wall sits for 5 minutes.
But that
your legs shaked like a Tuesday night.
But because I remember when I was done with high school sports and all that kind of stuff, I moved on to college and found beer and pizza and 100 extra pounds. I was like, I don't have to exercise anymore. This is great. It was the best thing because I didn't have to do forced exercise anymore. Then I advanced in my age and realized I better get on the treadmill. I got to change life here. And I've been able to do that, and that's been great. But I still, every day, I'm like, I dread. I don't want to run. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Because as a kid, it was beaten into our heads that it was for punishment, and it was always a bad thing. You didn't go out and run for joy when you were a child. You ran and were punished.
The two things we did for punishment in practice was in basketball, we would do running backwards, or we would do the defensive slide drills.
Oh, worst.
I
yeah.
mean, and your coach would come behind you and he'd lower your back, get down. You'd be like, can't go any further.
Yeah, we had to do what they called quarters in football, and the worse we lost on the weekend before, the more we had to run. And if you won, you didn't we didn't win much, so we ran a lot. And they were and I hated it to this day. And to this day, every time I run, which is daily, I think about that Coach Tom Hill screaming, "Run with longer strides, Bobby, longer strides." And it was you had to run basically a quarter mile, and you had to sprint the quarter mile. And then you got you had 90 seconds, and that included your rest. So the faster you ran, the more rest you got.
In 8th grade, if you forgot your pads for football, that's the last time I played football. I was terrible. You had to run down the sideline, and then you could walk the end zones. Run sideline, walk end zone until practice was over. Practice was an hour and a half.
Oh, my God.
Jeez. Yeah, that's nuts.
How did people just really stroll when they were walking?
Well, you had the defensive coach when the offense was on the field staying pat with the guy that was doing the stuff, and then you had the offensive coach when the defense was doing their stuff, keep an eye on that kid.
But see, they're using that as a punishment. The last thing you want to do, though, is then run as an adult because it was beaten into your head that this is a sign of doing something wrong, and you didn't want to do it. They always threatened you. You're going to have to run laps.
Yeah, it was kind of a revelation when you said that to me because I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that is why I hate running.
Yeah, but you started talking about playing basketball.
Yep.
And you're like, I'm playing basketball. I kind of get my cardio and I just hate running. I go, because you had to run as a child, didn't you? And we had that conversation. Like, oh, my God, yeah.
From
put a ball in my hand. No,
from the
it's fine.
620, we aren't obese because we don't run. We're obese because we are lazy, gluttonous pigs, myself included.
Yeah, but that's because you don't exercise. Because as a child, when you were playing sports, if you did something wrong, exercise was used as a form of punishment.
Well, who's that dude at Barstool? The guy
Dude, Frank the Tank?
Yeah, Big Frank. He's under 300 pounds.
Under
He just
300
started
pounds,
walking.
man. Yeah.
And he just did it the other day. He got Diana Rossini to walk with him. Big does.
Yeah.
She walked with him. He's under 300 pounds.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
And all he did was start walking. And the first thing he did is he walked from one court side to the other court side, back and forth twice a day. And then he'd start, going and going and going and going. I think the other thing that people do when they start to work out is they go too hard early.
Absolutely.
And you're like, man, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm so sore. It's like, start with walking. Then, maybe add a power walk. Then when you start feeling good about that, you can get, a couple miles in, start a little jog in between the power walks. And, you do that. I love power walking. I don't run. I jog and I power walk. That's
you
what
have
I
walking
love to do.
poles, and I'm being serious about that.
No.
Okay.
No, I got 2 legs.
Yeah, but I mean, people use them obviously for reasons because it's better for you, I guess, stabilize you. A lot of people for hiking and making sure you're stable on that. But I see a lot of people with those, kind of those walking poles. The older you get, I think you have them. But I mean, it's really bizarre. Like we're all your 20s, 30s, 40s, and we were all basically punished with exercise. And exercise should never be a punishment. It should be something that's fun that you look forward to doing. And at 48 years old, I still have a hard time looking, and I love it because it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm still like, oh my God, that Coach Tom Hill screaming water and telling me to make my stride longer. And that's 30 years ago.
We'll get into why the UC alums don't like Bill Belichick, but we get into the Royals manager, Matt Cottrero, on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Hey, it's Michael Waka, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
It's the Nissan 4th of July sale, and 0% financing is back at Reiselman Nissan. That's right, 0% APR for 60 months on brand new Rogue, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or lock in 1.9% for 72 months, even 84 months at just 3.49% APR. Need power? Get up to $6,000 in total rebates on new Frontiers. These are the hottest deals of the summer, but hurry, they won't last long. Visit ReiselmanNissan.com for details. Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time.
Guys, don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at the Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Kansas City's leading experts in men's health. Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology that you won't find anywhere else except the Low T Center. Download now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Granger who does the same. Granger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Visita O'Reilly Auto Parts y llévate gratis un set de balatas al comprar 2 discos de freno. Aplican restricciones. Detalles en la tienda.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Belton 49 northbound still slowing with the accident past 163rd. Delays to about Missouri 58, and it slows again around 155th Street. Heading out of downtown, 70 eastbound, heavy from Brooklyn Avenue over towards 18th Street, where you're down to 1 lane with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Hey man, good morning, how do you do? Hey man, just wanna talk about the boys in blue. Hey man, now that you've been here a year, what's your favorite KCQ? Hey man, what's new in the clubhouse, the bullpen and the lineup too? Hey man, how was the road trip? Bob and Dusty wanna know. Hey man, what do you think of Slugger and FM radio? Hey man, is it true you're a deadhead too? Hey man, kid baseball, wanna talk music with you? Hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man, Quattrero. Hey man, hey man. Hey man, hey man, hey man, how about tomorrow? Hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man.
That's right, 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. We're now joined by Royals manager Matt Quattrero, and this series of the Pittsburgh Pirates so far has been a bunch of sugar magnolias, no other than Mr. Nick Loftin. Matt Quattrero, that's going to be a proud papa moment right there, watching Nick Loftin hit the ball at an absolute hard hit rate the last couple nights.
His at-bats have been great. You know, even going back to Arizona, you know, he's been having really consistent at-bats. And prior to this little run he's on, too. I mean, he wasn't getting many results when he first came up, but we liked what we saw with what he was swinging at and what his swing looked like, and just we're really trying to tell him to stick with it, stick with the process. And that's something I think he's grown a lot in these last couple of years of learning himself. And this year being healthy, you know, he had shoulder surgery in the off season to fix some stuff in his left shoulder, and I think his swing is a lot more confident, and he's more confident in himself.
You know, it's interesting because all these guys dominated wherever they were, right? High school, college, the minor leagues, because they're the best at what they do. Then they get up to the big league level, and it's, oh my God, failure right away. How much of your job is talking to these guys and working with them to get through the failures so they can see successes like Loftin is starting to experience right now?
Well, yeah, with hitters particularly, I mean, Zumi and Keone and Joe are with those guys every single day in the cage, and they're the ones that, you know, deal with a lot of the psychological part of it. I mean, a hitting coach is more psychologist than technician in a lot of cases, and especially with younger players. And, you know, it's part of our whole, every organization has these challenges, and you have to figure out the best way to bridge what was successful for them in the minor leagues, whether that's technique, whether that's information, whether it's scouting reports, whatever it is, and try to get them as comfortable as quickly as you can. But everybody, it's like anything else, right? Everybody develops at a different rate. Everybody's, you know, successes come for different reasons too. I mean, sometimes it takes a couple bloopers to fall for somebody to feel like they're good. Sometimes those hard hit balls need to find grass as well. You know, it's just, there's no one prescription for it, but we certainly try to encourage, especially as we know we need our, players coming up through the minor leagues to be successful for us to be good. We know that that's a really vital part of our jobs.
Matt, I want to ask you about this because last night, I think maybe I got some brownie points from you after I explained my take today about Kagleion last night. The home run's awesome, right? Absolute piss missile to right field. But I thought his best at bat last night was that last one that he got Michael over to third, and understanding what the message was. Like, get the guy that's got some good speed. All I got to do is get it out there deep enough to get him to third, knowing the guy behind me and Loftin's got a hot stick right now. And, it went perfectly for that situation. What's that do for you when you see the development of a young kid in Jack Kagleion?
Well, understanding the game is vital, and understanding what you have to do. You didn't have to hit 600 feet there, and just being able to slow things down a little bit. I mean, that's everybody's message to Jack, the players, the staff, like the talent is there. You're going to hit the ball as hard here as you did in the minor leagues. You just, and I hate using that word just because it's much more difficult than that, but slowing down, taking a deep breath, understanding that you have plenty of skill to execute every situation. It's a matter of letting the game come to you a little bit. And that those cliches are cliches because they end up happening often and they're true, and Jack did slow it down last night. He got down in the count, was able to go down and get that ball. And he, like we said, plenty strong, plenty of power to get the ball out there. And Michael did a good job of reading it and tagging.
Yeah, and I thought his comments after the game, not like licking the sweat out of the bathtub or whatever he said, but like talking about the importance of moving Garcia over. And I'm like, damn, 22 years old, he's already talking like a team player. Like that's the comments of a Jake Taylor, a 35-year-old guy that's chasing a ring and looking to do anything to help the team win. And you got a 22-year-old going, he goes, look, I just wanted to get the runner over, and that's what I needed to do in that situation. That's what stood out to me.
Well, that's great. That's great awareness. And that's the message when every player comes up from the minor leagues. You're here to help us win. So if it's not offensively, what are you doing defensively? If it's not defensively, what are you doing on the bases? If it's not that, what are you doing to be the best teammate to help somebody else succeed tonight? Because the goal is to win every night. We know that's not going to happen, but we keep that our main focus. And when you keep team and bigger goals as your focus, your personal goals tend to find a way to happen without you worrying about them as much.
Yeah, it's no secret, Q. When it comes to the success of this team, it goes through your three big guys, and Vinny, Salvi, and Bobby. And those guys really seem to be clicking right now. And obviously in the month of July, been a great month so far for you guys over there, going 5-2 so far in 6-2 in the 8 days in July. I got to think you've got to love it when you see those three guys leading the way in the lineup.
Oh, no question. Yeah. And I mean, you had, Michael for everything he's done this year. I mean, he got us going last night in the ninth. He got a big RBI the night before to keep the rally going in the second or third inning after they had taken the lead.
Yep.
So, you're talking about those guys, and, we talk about this a lot. I mean, and rightfully so, Bobby and those guys get a ton of attention, but any good team needs all 9 or 10 or 12 or 13 hitters, whoever's in the rotation, succeeding. And, the night before, Izzy with a triple, that was a huge part of the game for us. So, everybody's got to contribute, but when most teams, when the heart of your order is producing runs, it certainly makes things easier for you.
You mentioned Izzy there for a second, and kind of off the topic a little bit. That guy's developed into a really nice Major League Baseball player that nobody's talking about.
Well, he's an elite defender. We've known that all along. He's an elite teammate, elite competitor, and like we're saying, hitting is very difficult. And trying to learn at this level. He came up, like a lot of these guys, they came up post-COVID with very little minor league experience. And for him to develop at this level and continue to learn himself and be willing to make adjustments and changes, is a big part about who he is, but also speaks to the development that, the hitting guys have been able to do with him.
Matt, we're going to end on a fun note. I'm going to play you this audio from Jack last night. Bob was impressed that he did the comment about getting the guy over and setting up for a team win. I don't know if you've ever heard this saying before, but I'm going to play it for you.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub. Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
Have you ever heard of trying to put sweat in the bathtub?
I don't even know what. I have no idea what that means.
Ask
it's kinda
Vinny.
like the first time I heard about a cheese blanket.
Yeah. And now you know exactly what that cheese blanket is, right?
But wait, he said you can't put sweat in a bathtub?
He said we're trying to put sweat in a bathtub.
Trying to put sweat in a bathtub.
Clearly, Vinny told him to work that in because Vinny's in the background laughing when he does that.
Okay.
So-
Thanks for the context, so I'll know what to ask about today.
Yeah, like in the team meeting, like when you're addressing the team today, I don't know if you address them every day. Guys, we're just trying to put sweat in the bathtub and see the reaction of the room and then let us know.
Okay. All right.
That's your challenge for the day. Sometimes I'll text Lefevre and say, work in this word to the broadcast. He never does. But I'm asking you today in the pre-game meeting or whatever it is, guys, here's what we're going to do today. We're all going to put sweat in the bathtub.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
Well, have a fun conversation with Jack. Get those brooms out and get ready for the Mets in a couple of days. Q, we appreciate the time, and go get that sweep today.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
See ya.
He loved it.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You're just trying to work hard so you can go put that
Put
sweat
sweat
that
in
you
the
worked
bathtub.
hard on in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And then rinse off at the shower and then have a shower beer.
Yeah.
You know?
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
I mean, if you're going to do that, that's great. But, like, Vinny should have done it with somebody who knew he wasn't going to crack, you know?
It's kind of, I mean,
Because you got to work that in and just deadpan it. Like they started with 1738 back in the day, you know, and everybody's like, what the hell are they doing? Whatever. And then it kind of took off and became a thing. But nobody ever really broke character when that was going on. The first time we get an opportunity to do that, Gags breaks character and lets us know, all right, Vinny put you up to this.
from the 803, it means they're trying to put in hard work and effort.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I think we got.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
Hello, America.
Trying to put sweat in the bathtub. Trying to put sweat in the bathtub.
All right, that's enough of that. I want to get into this Bill Belichick stuff because of what was said about the alums of North Carolina. You'll be surprised at what they had to say about Bill Belichick being there. 96.5 The Fan, you're home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have made our lives so much easier. And that's why, you know what? I love the guys at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control because my weekends now are free. I don't have to worry about getting up in the morning, planning to mow the lawn, thinking about when I'm going to do that, thinking about the weed eating, all of that kind of stuff that we have to do on a weekly basis. I don't have to worry about that anymore because the folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control said, hey, hang on a second here. You haven't done anything good for 12 years with this lawn. We're going to take over and we're going to take care of everything for you. We're going to mow it when it needs to be mowed. We're going to trim it. We're going to fertilize it. We're going to make it look like a lawn should look. And that's what they have done for us. And it gives us ample opportunity now on the weekends to kind of sit back and just enjoy our outdoor space. And we enjoy it even more because Aspen Lawn and Pest Control put up that mosquito dome and keeps all the bugs out. It keeps all the fleas and ticks off our dog, and it allows us to sit outside and enjoy our yard. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to enjoy life. Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can help you do that. They offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control, and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them today at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, my name is John, and I've been on ED and testosterone treatment at Heartland Men's Health for the past 15 months. I could tell, I was starting to go downhill, and my wife kept telling me, well, you need to go to a clinic that'll specialize in that. And that's what eventually led me into the men's clinic here. Treatment, in my opinion, is a miracle. I was able to perform to an elevated position that, quite honestly, I never thought I'd see again. For my fellow men out there, if you're feeling that you're not up to par, I encourage you, contact Heartland Men's Health, and you will see a dramatic difference.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
You know the national parks, but you may not know that they're supported by a strong foundation. A foundation for the future. We are the National Park Foundation. And together with your support, we are building a bold future where national parks are vibrant, protected, and welcoming. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Say hello to Wendy's new 2-for-4 Biggie Bundle. Choose from the JBC made with fresh, never frozen beef, crispy chicken sandwich, 6-piece nugs, or small soft drink. Any two for just $4. It's like the reunion special you've been waiting for, but the only drama is watching you try to pick just two. For a deal as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Request 2 for $4 Biggie Bundles to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. Alaska.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 92.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Time right back into it. Thanks to Mac Contrario, Royals manager, joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City sports. Royals in action tonight at 6:40. Vern's on deck show at 5:30. Win the pitch clock. Win tickets to see the Mets and Royals play this weekend. As simple as that.
You think Dallas Keuchel will pitch for the Royals this weekend?
He's signed to a minor league contract apparently by the Royals. So
37 years old.
Hey man, they had Dick Mountain too.
They did.
So,
yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, we used to always, bitch and moan about the development of pitching in this organization. Seems to be doing pretty well right now.
Great right now. So I'm saying, why do you need Dallas Keuchel? But if he's available, I guess he threw last week or something. It was in the 90s. So you go out and you make an opportunity and an offer, and you go and you see what happens. You can never have too many arms and whatnot. And if this team, finds their way into the postseason, maybe Dallas Keuchel pitches an important inning. Who knows? But if you would have said to me what you did, you said the Royals signed Dallas Keuchel. Mm-hmm. I'm like, is this 1995? Like, what year are we? Like a time warp here? Dallas Keuchel. When was the last time you even heard that name?
When he was with the Astros?
Had to have been, right?
And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's been probably 5 years since I even thought of. I'm not sitting around thinking about Dallas Keuchel, but I mean, that's just a random name that I had no idea was still around.
No doubt. Yeah. ESPN insider Jeff Passan, former Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel and the Kansas City Royals are in agreement on a minor league contract. Sources tell ESPN Keuchel, 37, held a workout last week, was up to 92 miles per hour. He'll start in AAA, and if he gets to the big leagues, he'd make $2 million prorated dyslexia at its finest. So this came out about UNC alums. They called Belichick a disgrace.
Yeah.
Brutal. From like alumni and faculty, and they call Bill Belichick a disgrace on our university via the article came from Barstool Sports.
What kind of highbrow falutin individual do you have to be embarrassed by your university, first of all? Like, that just feels like Virgil MasterCard and Walter Pennington and, people of that nature. I'm embarrassed by my university. Are you really? Or are you just trying to say that for social media to get some kind of, clout or whatever the case may be? But all of those comments by these alums down at North Carolina who have never really had much to cheer for on the football field, I'm rooting for Bill Belichick to have all kinds of success now because these guys who have him as their coach clearly do not like it and they want him to fail. And if you're going to be embarrassed by who your university hires as their football coach, you need more going on in your life, man. You may not like the hire or whatnot, but let's kind of slow the roll with being, quote, embarrassed that the university hired Bill Belichick. You're some highbrow place that's never had anything go wrong.
Yeah, the source is numerous emails from the University of North Carolina donors, alumni, and faculty, which were obtained through a public records request, show a stunning lack of support for their Tar Heels new football coach. And one email obtained Thank you for the ad there. And one email obtained by thedailymail.com, a donor wrote, "What a total embarrassment to UNC. I am withdrawing all of my donations and future donations." And another email from a University of North Carolina faculty member, the disgruntled employee complained about there not being enough money to hire the number of professors we need, but paying a 73-year-old old guy with no college football experience $10 million is okay.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy.
And then let him hire your son.
Hire your son. But professors do not generate income. And in this world right now, if you're not a revenue generator at your job, you're not going to have that job for a long period of time. You've got to be a revenue generator. You know what generates revenue at colleges? Sports. And football is the biggest revenue generator. It's the front porch of the university, the athletic departments are. Everybody knows schools and judges schools based on their men's basketball team and their football team. It's been going on for 100 years in this country. And if you're right now, where we're in the landscape of things in sports, and you don't have a good football team in your Division I school, you're going to be left outside. And then you're going to be really embarrassed to be a North Carolina alum when they go to a league of like 64 teams and you're not included in it, because you're not any good and you're not generating money. And so this is a way to generate revenue. And all those people who said they're not going to donate again, that season ticket holder guy saying, "I'm not buying tickets if they move to Kansas." Okay, fine. Somebody else will. There's going to be more money coming into that department because of Bill Belichick being there and other fans being excited and NIL and cachet and bang for the buck. People are talking about North Carolina football. Nobody ever did. Advertisers are going to flock to that. People are going to be all over that. And so I just find it so fake when people say they're embarrassed by this hire and I'm never going to donate again. Fine, Jeeves. We'll find somebody else that's going to give just as much or more, and we'll cobble together donations and we'll figure this thing out. Keep your donation.
Yeah, it's just always interesting because I think a lot of people are, upset with the whole Jordan Hudson saga that's been going on all summer and spring. Obviously, his contract is out there, and so they know how much money he's making, plus his son comes along. And you're going to have people that are going to be, that way, like, well, why is he getting paid when I'm here every single day, teaching? I get it. Teachers are massively underpaid.
Right.
Like, it's sad. But, yeah, I mean, look, I get it. Like, I've never seen from a coaching standpoint, maybe there is one, that just absolute downfall of like what it is.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that like he was considered at a time, maybe still by many, the best coach to ever do it in the NFL. And now you have alumni and faculty members and former athletes being like, this is a disgrace.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you be happy if Bill Belichick was your coach in North Carolina?
Yeah.
So you're now rooting for him to go win the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm rooting for him to make the playoffs.
Boy, did you flip on a dime.
I did. But I
you
do.
wanted him to fail a month ago.
I did.
Now all of a sudden you're like, win it all.
Yeah, win it all. No, because I don't like when people do this kind of stuff. It's so fake. It's so ingenuine, not genuine. It's so disingenuous is the word I'm looking for. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, what pious person are you to sit there and, rub your pearls together and sit there and go, I'm embarrassed by my university. Are you? Because a 73-year-old is getting it on with a 22-year-old? That's what you're embarrassed by?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you jealous?
I don't know if jealousy's there. I think it's just kind of odd, in my opinion.
It's odd, yeah, but I mean, but like, it's nothing to be like embarrassed and ashamed about. And you're going to get rid of your football program, and we're no longer going to be a fan of all this kind of stuff. And then Ryan Clark, who I'm losing a lot of respect for recently, he's in the media. Him and Chris Long are on there saying that the media is treating Bill Belichick unfairly, and I can't believe the media is acting like this towards Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick was a jerk to everybody on the way up, right? I mean, nobody sits here and says, oh, he was such a great guy to work with. Bill Belichick was a jerk to everybody on the way up. And when you're a jerk on the way up, there ain't going to be nobody there to catch you when you're falling down. And Belichick has fallen, and there's nobody there to catch him. I used to work with a guy in radio that was like that. He got let go, and there was nobody there to support him on the way down. When you're a jerk to people on the way up, there's going to be nobody there to support you on the way down. And so I think that's kind of where the media is with Bill Belichick. But I do find it very rich. Ryan Clark and Chris Long, who are both in the media, are saying the media is running down Bill Belichick. But you know what they're also doing? They're getting clicks because nobody knew who Pablo Torre was 6 months ago. And now he's been all over this Bill Belichick thing. That guy made a name for himself in a big way because of this story.
Oh, he'd done that way before that. Pablo's a G. Like him and Levitard, and he was on. I mean, I know you didn't watch it, but he was a big face on Around the Horn back in the day.
Sure. But he was gone for about 2 years or something from his non-compete with ESPN. Like he was off the map for 2 years and came back on the map with this Bill Belichick stuff. Is huge for him. And people are clicking on it. People like scandal. People like sensationalism. More people will click about Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson today than anything that happened on the field in a sports game yesterday.
A couple of Chiefs topics here. Do you think that Hungry Pig Right is the best play name in the history of the Chiefs? Like for fun plays?
Probably.
Or Jet Chip Wasp?
Yeah, I like the Hungry Pig because it involved that Terry Poe.
What if I told you that Matt Nagy said on the New Heights podcast that the trick play they had for Chris Jones was called Swinging D? So you'll have to reach out to some sources and get to the bottom of this. But according to the New Heights podcast, Matt Nagy was their guest, and they said that the on what the name for the Chiefs Chris Jones's trick play is called, it's called, quote, Swinging D. So I mean that's perfect, right?
That's so good.
Incredible.
Because you go back to everything, right?
I mean, it's just
40-yard dash.
I mean, go back to day one with Chris Jones, right? Doesn't get picked.
It was before day one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. He was at the combine.
Right.
And then he doesn't get picked in the first round, and he's pissed off, and he wants to leave, and the NFL begs him to stay. And he comes back the second day. He's picked right there at the top by the Chiefs, and the rest is history.
And I'll go back to yesterday when we played his interview, Patrick Mahomes' interview on Kay Adams. He said the one thing that needs to change to get back to right this year is to have fun. And that's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. Swing and D. I mean,
hilarious.
that is great. I mean, I love it, man.
But
I
they
think that
haven't
is
ran
so
it
funny.
yet? Or they have ran
Well, they
it?
probably had it for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those situations. We'll run this play if things are going good. Okay, we're not running this
Could
play.
you
today.
imagine if like NFL films, right, when they had the do it,
no.
Kels, do it. Hey, wide 80, swinging D, swinging D.
Yeah.
The hell? That'd blow Omaha out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So Swing and D may make the playoff or the playbook this year. Do you roll that out in game one against the Chargers, or do you wait for the Eagles? Because you're going to do it against the Eagles, in the Super Bowl.
Let the home crowd see the swinging D.
Yeah. How bad do you think we beat the brakes off the Eagles this year? I may go higher than 42-0.
Wow.
Somebody for the 816 says corn dog is better.
That's not
good.
It's not better than Swing and D. Not at all. It's not even close.
Could be a streamer or whatever. Could be talking about the last couple of plays we talked about. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
You know.
Okay, but also, too, I will say this. Like, Swing and D is the Mahomes of play calls now. Everything else you can debate on what's the second best one.
Swing and D. Pro Football Focus sent out their top secondaries. Do you want to guess where they have the Chiefs? Number one is the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. 3.
2.
Well.
They have the Baltimore Ravens, number one secondary. The Kansas City Chiefs, number 2, and arguably the number 1 defense in the league, the number 3 secondary, is the Denver Broncos. This is your time to shine, Mac, because one thing that you have been on before anybody, because it's the summer and not everybody dives into football quite like you or Binkley or Drew Nixon. I'll get there in about August, but we know Baltimore's secondary is great, right? They even went out and got Jair Alexander. teammates of Lamar at Louisville, now good friends. They've got all those other pieces they've had in the past. And you look at the second one, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. They have Trent McDuffie, right? Jaden Hicks is your guy. He's the one that you think is going to really shine this year.
Yeah.
And then you have the cornerback room as well that's young. Does this hurt or does this help the future of McDuffie with the Chiefs?
I think you'd have to say it kind of hurts, right? Because, I mean, if one of these
but they're not
guys-
the number 2 defensive backfield without McDuffie, are they?
No, they're not. But if Noah Williams is all of a sudden the guy they drafted this year, if he's a guy who's all of a sudden a starter caliber player as the 4th or 5th cornerback on this team, Christian Fulton shines in his new role with the Chiefs. You know, all of a sudden Jalen Watson is still out there producing.
yes!
Najee Johnson was a guy who had a couple of flashes in the pan when they needed him as a depth piece. Johnson. And so if he's the 6th or 7th corner, if he all of a sudden shows some more promise this season, like, okay, do you, like you mentioned earlier, talking about contract years, McDuffie has the chance, not even has the chance, like, will be the highest paid corner. He will be. If it's for 2 weeks or if it's for a year.
As long as he's the next, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as he's the next, he's going to be the highest paid corner for however long that duration lasts. And if the Chiefs don't really do that often, they've already done it. They're going to have to do it with Trey Smith. They've already done it with Creed Humphrey. They did it with Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes has luckily been extremely, kind.
Patrick Mahomes makes less than you at this point, you know?
Okay, let's not go that far. But yeah, he's been kind as far as his contracts are concerned. But I think PFF's probably smart looking at the depth of the corner room that the Chiefs have, because it's not just, McDuffie and who else do they have? Because normal people on the, besides us Chiefs fans, people don't know Jaden Hicks. People don't know Brian Cook, Josh. No, nor should they. No. Those are really, really good football players that people are going to know this season.
Yeah, but you know them on your team, and every team has those players.
Of course.
The quarterbacks, some wide receivers, a couple of defensive standouts on teams. That's all you know. Nobody's going 20 deep on these rosters, and if you are, then I feel bad for you. Like if you're breaking down the Cowboys roster and telling me who the 3rd corner is and you're not a Cowboys fan, that's a problem. But I think, I think with Trent McDuffie, like he's been one of those pillar guys that they want to get signed, but he's not next right now. Trey Smith is still that next guy up, right? Trey Smith is still that guy that they need to get signed. And now what? We're less than a week away from the 15th, aren't we?
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When is that? Tuesday next week? The 15th?
13th is Sunday.
13th
is Monday's the 14th.
15th, Tuesday. So we're 6 days away now from that deadline. And he has to did he sign the franchise tag?
Trey?
Yeah.
He did.
I believe so.
He
I
did.
believe
Okay,
he signed it.
so he is going to play under the franchise tag if they don't get a long-term deal done. He already signed that tender. Then
Sunday at 6 p.m.
Oh, Sunday at 6 p.m.
That's what I think will happen. There's no.
I thought you meant the deadline.
No, I'm saying that's when he'll sign the contract.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Good, I hope so.
It'll be Sunday at 6 p.m. It'll be Tuesday at 6 p.m.
But we had these conversations with Chris Jones, and then it was opening day, and he's sitting up in the booth with 2 goons in bad suits that they got at JCPenney. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and that's kind of why I'm a little bit not as bullish. Oh, yeah, they're going to get a deal done with Trey Smith, because I've seen this act before. And so I am a little concerned at this point in time that they haven't gotten anything done with Trey Smith, because then it does affect everything else that you can do. And that goes back to Chris Jones, because had Chris Jones gotten signed earlier, they probably would have been able to sign, I think at the time it was the guy they traded, L'Jarius Sneed. I think he was kind of the next guy up, right? Didn't we miss out signing on L'Jarius Sneed because the Chris Jones held things up a little bit? And then,
they traded L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah, but they could have signed him.
Yeah,
and they couldn't
right.
get the deal done because they were waiting on Chris Jones.
And that was originally the plan.
Right.
At least it felt like.
That was the kind of
yeah.
And so because it took so long to get Chris Jones done, it affects that's the impact that this has.
That's
the longer
scare.
and the scare is that if he doesn't sign, what's the impact that it has on the rest of this roster? Because if you wanted to get him done, and Trey Smith, and then move on to Trent McDuffie, or even George Karlaftis at this time, you can't move on to those 2 guys yet until you know what the future is going to be with Trey Smith.
Somebody in the text line says, is Trent McDuffie the next mega trade the Chiefs do like they did with Tyreek Hill?
I mean, there's a very good case to be made for that. I would make the case for that, but I know how much they love him and want him to be here. But, man, things change. Things always change.
You mean trade him? Like, I guess that'd have to be like now.
It'd have to be
or after the season, right?
Well, but he's contract year. Free agent.
But is it already this is his 5th year? No, this is his 4th year.
This is 4th year, because his first Super Bowl was
so they have to pick up the 5th year option.
Pick the fifth,
So
you could
trade him after this year.
Yeah, for the 5th year option, 1-year deal.
Yep.
for a win now rental kind of thing. Yeah,
right. That is a possibility,
Yeah, that
and
could definitely happen.
I wouldn't get mad at that. I mean, that's just the way that this team operates. And that's the thing. We're rooting for the Chiefs. We're not rooting for individual players anymore, right? We're past that with this organization. It's all about what's best for the Chiefs. And if they decided at the end of this season the best thing for them to do was do a trade where they got a second, a third, and a fifth back in return for Trent McDuffie, I'd support it 100%. I don't think that's the route we're going down as of now. But hell, you traded Tyreek Hill, you know?
In 2025, he'll have a cap hit of $4.4 million.
Oh, my God, that's free.
And then in 2026, his cap hit is 13.6. I've seen this before.
Wait, what year is his cap hit that money?
2026. And then he's a UFA in 2027.
Yeah.
So
after the 2026 season.
So this year, his cap percentage hit in the league is a 1.5%. Next year is a 4.4% hit to your roster. So
yeah, which still isn't.
That's not
huge. What it's
huge.
going to be. Yeah, because it's going to be double that. $13 million. He'll make 25
easily.
Yeah.
A year.
Yes, a year. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, man, look.
But the cap continues to grow too.
100%.
This is such a great conversation to have because you have arguably one of the top 3 corners in football, where wide receiver play is nuts, especially in the slot position, which you have said Mac is where he thrives, which he'll go back to this year.
Heck yeah.
Coincidence?
I think not.
Right. And
well, they realized that he was kind of miscast. That's another great sign of this organization.
And not only that, but like you look at what Brett Veach's number one asset is. It is drafting secondaries. They're the number 2 secondary in football, above Philly, above Denver, above all these other teams.
Without paying a lot of any of these guys.
I mean, they've had Charvarius Ward. They've had L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie. Do you think that runs dry? Because I don't. I don't think that does. I think he's got that knack, right? Like some guys in baseball organizations, scouts, know how to find pitching, and they just always have pitching, right? You look at the Cleveland Guardians. It's just like it seems every year there's Shane Bieber. Then there's, guys in the past, Dallas Keuchel. I'm kidding. By the way, signed a minor league contract with the Kansas City Royals. But, like, you look at what Brett Veach can do, and if, like, you're going to trust in Brett Veach Town, do you want to put all your money, not all your money, but a large chunk of your money
4.1%.
And a guy, well, it'd be more than that if you gave him a contract.
Yeah, right.
So, like, would you be willing? And that's a question to have, possibly. I don't know if you want to have that conversation because it sucks because he's one of those guys. But again, it's like you can say that we haven't seen a corner like Trent McDuffie. Then you could be like, yes, we have. We saw L'Jarius Sneed and Charvarius Ward. Well, they weren't the same corner as Trent McDuffie. They were dominant. And they did not sign with Kansas City. They went and got big deals elsewhere. Which do you think is the first thing to crack? Veach finding talent in the secondary late in the drafts or Veach signing a top-paid defensive back? I don't know which one to pick.
I think as you start to move forward as an organization, you have to identify, other than Patrick Mahomes at this point in time, because he's the quarterback and he's going to be here, Kelsey, American Pie year, senior year. By the way, who would play Stifler's mom in this one? You've got
Mama Kelsey.
You've got Chris Jones getting close to the end as well, right? No lies there. They're both in their 30s now. Yep. So once they age out and graduate, who are now the pillars of your organization? You have to have those pillars that are your guys that you know that you're going to build around. Look what it's done. Mahomes, Kelsey, Jones. Those have been the 3 guys. And you can throw in Butker and the long snapper if you want, but not really. But you got those 3 guys that have been the constants, right? They have been the 3 constants for this team throughout this entire run. Who are going to be the next constants for this team that are going to pass down? This is the way we do things. This is the way we operate. This is how you're going to operate, or you'll end up like Marcus Peters and traded or whatever. So you've got to find those next guys that are going to be the pillars of your franchise. I deep down in my heart believe that they want Trent McDuffie to be that guy. They want him. They want Mahomes. I think Bolton is kind of that guy at this point in time.
For sure.
Right?
Got that contract.
And so McDuffie could be Karlaftis potentially, but I really do believe from everything that I've heard and talked to people in the organization about, they love this guy. They want this guy to be a lifer here. Again, that's a want. That doesn't always happen.
I know I surprised you with the play call called Swinging D. This is Pat Murphy on his pitcher, Jacob Mizorowski, with the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. He's just broken the shell, man. He just out of the egg, all arms and legs. he's still got that gooey stuff coming off him. He's something special.
I would love to drink beers with Pat Murphy because I know that the guy named Pat Murphy's been in many a bar fight, but that's a bad comment right there.
Again, as I say, Pat Murphy, according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, he's just broken the shell, man. He's just out of the egg, all arms and legs. He's still got that gooey stuff coming off him. He's something special. Gross. We'll get back to our poll question on the other side. We'll wrap this show up and get you set up for the rest of the afternoon here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay's Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Kansas City. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Here's Comedians and Sketchers Getting Comfortable, presented by Hands-Free Skechers Slip-Ins.
Hey, I'm Bobby Slayton, and I'm here with my pal, comedian, and Skechers ambassador, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Why did it take so long to invent something as amazing as slip-ins? I know it seems simple, but it took Skechers to invent a better pair of shoes.
Yep, with Skechers Slip-ins, you just step it and go. You don't have to touch your shoes. And by the way, Slip-ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. In all your favorite Skechers styles, find Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Granger who does the same. Granger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
You know the national parks, but you may not know that they're supported by a strong foundation. A foundation for the future. We are the National Park Foundation. And together with your support, we are building a bold future where national parks are vibrant, protected, and welcoming. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Wish your outdoor space felt more like an escape? Let Powell Exteriors KC create the perfect custom deck or patio cover built to keep you cool, comfortable, and loving life outside. It's not too late. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. Siding, windows, roofing, they do it all. But this time of year, it's all about decks, cover, and shade. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule your free estimate. Powell Exteriors KC, Kansas City's exterior experts.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Are you looking for a new job where you can have tons of fun and make great money?
Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK, the number 4, TP to 85000 to apply today.
Hey there, Royals fans. We've got more ways to watch your boys in blue this season than ever before with FanDuel Sports Network. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream all the action, or, new this season, Royals Baseball is now available on Amazon Prime Video as an add-on subscription. You can also access FanDuel Sports Network through TV providers like DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. Visit Royals.com/TV to learn more.
Fescoe and Dusty on a Wednesday with Mac Morey as well. Don't forget, it was a Wednesday, so we had our fantastic poll question.
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
That's right. So our poll question today was, I think we all kind of have, a common agreement on what is the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL, whether you rank them, however you rank them. We believe it's Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and Lamar. And then we asked who's the 5th best quarterback in the NFL. Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford. 171 votes have been casted. Leading in the clubhouse right now is Jalen Hurts at 39.8%. Jaden Daniels is at 30.4%. Matthew Stafford in third with 19.9%, and Justin Herbert bringing up the rear at 9.9%. I wonder if we would have put Jared Goff on that list, what the percentages would have been. Yeah. I still think the top 2 are the ones that would lead when it comes to Hurts and Jaden Daniels. But we'll see what sophomore season looks like for Mr. Daniels. We'll see what coming off of a Super Bowl win looks like for Mr. Hurts. Matthew Stafford, no Cooper Kupp, but has Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, and Kyron Williams. And then Justin Herbert.
Who would you have replaced if you were going to put Jared Goff?
Probably Herbert.
Herbert?
Yeah.
For poll reasons, Herbert. If you were asking like true football me, I'd replace Hurts. But I think Chiefs fans, a lot of those people voting, have probably watched 6 or 7 Hurts games. 2 of them are the Super Bowl. One of them's the national or playoff game in Oklahoma. And like pick 3 or 4 other random primetime games. They probably watched him play really well.
And he has played really well. He's been 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls and was the best player on the field in both of them.
No argument for me. I mean, he could have been a Jerry West nominee as the MVP of a losing team.
Yeah.
For that first one. He was incredible.
Yeah. But he did have the big fumble. And that one play. That's going to affect the MVP voting, and I get all that. But look, that guy's good, and I feel like I'm going to be like his biggest fan this year in the media nationally because I like Jalen Hurts. I like what he does, and people this is what it comes back to in this industry, man. We like to run people down instead of propping people up, and I don't know why that became kind of the I guess norm of this industry where it's just people want to rip people and tear them down instead of propping them up. People have spent so much time telling me why Jalen Hurts isn't good, and he just goes out there and leads his team to victories, leads his team to the Super Bowl, 2 in the last 3 years, and people still want to say that he's not a good quarterback. No, he is a good quarterback, and I think a lot of it also is you have preconceived notions. You made up your mind, and you're not willing to change your mind, and that happens in sports with a lot of people. The older I get, the more I realize I hope I'm wrong about everything because none of this is, and so it's okay to say, I didn't like Jalen Hurts at first, but damn, he's proved me wrong. It's okay to have that opinion on him, but nobody ever wants to do that. And it's easier just to sit there, Jalen Hurts stinks, and be Emmanuel Acho about this instead of being Harry Douglas and having actually good, thoughtful things to say. Nobody can tell me why is Jalen Hurts not a good quarterback?
I think most people think he's good. I think the conversation is great.
But there's one great quarterback in the NFL.
No. Josh Allen's great.
Hasn't won a championship, man.
Great.
You got to have championships to be in a great conversation. I think we use the word great way too much in life. All the time. Oh, that's great. No, it's not. It's okay. It's good. It's not great. We use the word great way too much. You've got to have accomplishments to be considered great. Great's the best of the best. Josh Allen's not the best of the best. He's not. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. He's not a great quarterback. You've got to win.
So Nick Foles.
Very good quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, just because you win doesn't mean you get that great moniker.
No, I'm just wondering.
But you have to be in the conversation of winning championships, in my opinion, to be in that great category. We throw that word around way too much. Oh, he's great. We all do it, right? And then I always catch myself. I go, is it really great or is it just very good?
Well, this is great.
You're not tough. You're not tough. Let's get to it. Come on, man. Hey. Hey. Off to a good start, buddy. I got it all on record.
Record. Is that Missouri?
If you miss this, no, that's recall. Yeah.
Locked, cocked, and ready to rock.
If you missed that was, what's that guy's name? Yamarowski?
Oh, God, I don't have it anymore. Todd.
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.
No, that was the viral video yesterday that went nuts on every sort of platform of this guy trying to talk too much smoke and got his absolute ass kicked by a former NHLer who punched him 3 times in the face. And while doing it, Ternasky, every time he clocked him in the jaw, he said, bang, 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 and then threw his ass into a pond. And I thought PFT's commentators' remarks were great about that fight that went viral yesterday, this morning on their podcast. He said, if I'm ever in a fight and I get thrown into a lake, the fight is officially over.
That's right. You're done. This guy came back for more.
I don't know why. I mean, liquid courage, I would assume.
I would imagine.
That
but
guy
I mean,
had way too many surf sides on the course.
You were literally picked up and thrown into a pond.
Yeah.
And you got up and went back for more.
Yeah.
And then got thrown again.
Back in. Awesome.
I mean, that's just.
I love the guy. Come on, man.
Well, he's, and I was telling Bob during the break, like, when you have that friend that's always seems to put you in those sort of circumstances, like, at some point, you're like, all right, dude, like, we can only keep you out of it for so long until you finally realize that you just ain't that guy. And it just so happened that his moment was against a former NHL guy.
Would you have gotten involved? Like, you're in that group, and that's your buddy, and this guy's throwing him into a pond. Like, I'm walking away. I got to be honest with you. Like, because clearly I think they probably have defended this guy a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I would say that they did exactly what they were supposed to do. Like, they tried to push him away, try to keep him pushing away, and the guy just kept going forward. He's clearly zooted out of his mind.
For sure.
He has sunglasses on. It's not really that sunny.
No, it's very cloudy.
He still has his golf glove on, and he's not anywhere near a golf club or getting ready to hit it.
And he's fighting a former hockey player who's a giant.
Yeah, and I mean, thank God he was wasted, because good thing he didn't feel any of that. I mean, what's worse, getting tossed the way he did at the end of the fight, getting thrown into the lake, or having the guy hit you 3 times in the face and say bang, bang, bang every single time?
Pop, bang. I mean, this guy just keeps getting up. He's staggering like a boxer who's just been hit under the jaw and gets thrown. And then the other guy gets involved, and he gets his ass kicked there for a hot minute.
Oh, yeah. He catches some heat.
You got to be careful on those.
I mean, I've had a friend who's been super stupid multiple times while getting drunk. And there was a time he got kicked out of a bar, and our friends, we were like, all right, man. See, like, he did it to himself. And like, we had helped him for a long time. It was just like, all right, dude, see ya. Like, I made sure he got home or whatever, but I stayed and hung out.
Yeah, there's only so much you
to
can
some point,
do,
yeah, man.
right?
Like, come on, you're a grown-ass man. Let's go.
Yeah, eventually it's on you.
Yeah.
It is definitely on
Seriously.
you.
Yeah. Like, I'm here trying to play golf, dude. What are we doing? What are we
I
doing?
didn't come here for this today.
What are we doing?
Somebody says, was the guy Rex Ryan, because he's just here to bang?
Yeah. Living legend, Rex Ryan. That's a guy who needs to be on the show weekly.
Yeah, I'm just here to bang. Somebody has a question for you, Bob. Do you think Bobby Witt Jr. is great?
Not yet. No, it's too early for that.
What about Dan Marino, Ken Griffey Jr.?
I don't think Dan Marino is among the greats, no.
Okay.
And Ken Griffey Jr.'s career got cut short. Great defender. I was watching a play by him the other day, or yesterday, actually. No, maybe it was this morning at Tiger Stadium, leaping up over a wall, grabbing a ball.
I mean, I think Ken Griffey Jr. is probably one of the top 5
Griffey
greatest left-handed hitters.
Yeah, Griffey's in that category. I think with a quarterback, though, I mean, you're the leader of the team, man. It all goes back to you. It all goes back to you. In big moments, are you big or do your balls shrink?
I mean, to counter-argue, I would say that there are 4 great quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think there's 6 good quarterbacks in the NFL. I think there's probably 3 average quarterbacks in the NFL, and the rest can be decided. I think what Lamar Jackson does is great. I think he's a great quarterback. He's won 2 MVPs. He's just ran into a greater quarterback. I mean, I think there were players in the NBA that were great that just ran into Jordan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are certain things called anomalies. I think Patrick Mahomes is an anomaly. I think Allen, Burrow, Lamar, guys like that, I think they're great.
I think they'll be on all-time lists if they keep this up.
I mean,
and truthfully.
Do you think any of them will get a Super Bowl championship, though? Be honest with yourselves.
Yes.
Of those 3, do you think that
if I get those 3 and you get I'd take one out of those 3 to get one. Flacco got one.
Who gets more Super Bowls, those 3 combined or Patrick Mahomes moving forward?
Mahomes. Oh, moving forward.
Those 3 combined, I would take the bet.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mahomes. I think he's got 2 or 3 left.
And the reason why I think he's got more, actually, now, the more, like, they keep watching that Kay Adams interview, and I'm just like, all right, we got about 10 more of these. But I think why the answer is Mahomes is because he's got a better supporting cast around him. And I don't mean players. I mean head coach and general manager. And ownership, for that matter. Cincinnati's ownership is dog crap. Buffalo, they've got a newer owner, but they don't have a general manager. He gives all his picks to the Chiefs to make them better. You know, so and that's why I believe that Mahomes will win more than those other 3 combined moving forward, because I do think Mahomes has the advantage of having a great supporting cast around him in Andy Reid and Brett Veach. That right there shows me the size of your balls.
Surprise out of the NFL world, all-pro left tackle Tristan Wirfs recently underwent arthroscopic surgery on his right knee. Wirfs will open the regular season on the physically unable to perform list and miss time in the start of the season. Good luck, Baker.
Yo, that sucks.
Damn.
In a related story, Baker Mayfield has requested a trade.
No doubt about it. You know what? Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, they're great, and they weren't number 1. Shout out Fruity Pebbles with tuna. We'll get into that tomorrow. Go do something nice for somebody. You never know. Can change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind. It's Cody Golden Drew coming up next from 10 to 2.